What's going on? What's going on, my good people? Welcome to another episode of Chopping Willie in the Morning. I am one of your hosts, Chop. Heard my main man, Willie Jack. And of course, this episode is brought to you by the official platform, Let the Film Speak. Man, Willie Jack, how you feeling today, bro?
Man, feeling good, boy. Ain't no complaints on football Sunday, man. Football Sunday, can't nothing go wrong, man. At least not right. This early in the day. Can't nothing go wrong this early today.
Not this early. We still 0-0 as the morning tips off, man. Day one gang Jarrell in the building. What's going on with you, my dog?
Hey, early in office. Shout out to your boy. Day one gang in the building.
For sure. And as y'all tap in, y'all, please make sure y'all go ahead and check in, man. Check in with us, man. Let us know y'all in the building, man. We want to say what's up with you. Give you a quick shout out, man. So tap in with us for sure. Man, we got a good episode for everybody today. Of course, we got week 7 predictions on the way. We are definitely going to get to that. But before we do that, of course, we got some announcements. Please, the picks in. That's the announcement. Get your picks in. The weekly pick 'em. You know what I'm saying? Your boy struggled a little bit last week, but I'm gonna get back on track for sure. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't gonna hold me down long. I was making up some ground. I had a rough week last week, but I'm getting back on track for sure, man. So get your picks in, man. Send them over to me so I can get you in the books, and that way we can move on from there and keep going with that, man. Also, we got some news, Willie Jack, man. We don't have news much often, or I would say news that we feel like it's
no. At this point of the season, the news slows down a little bit as the real season gets into place.
For sure. So news that we felt like should have been news on its own, but this one is definitely worth it, Willie Jack. We got to talk about this one. And I'm pretty sure everybody has heard by now, but we're going to discuss it on here too, man. 49ers, they acquired Christian McCaffrey, man. C-Mac, he is on his way to
San
Francisco. And actually, he's probably already there. He ain't on his way. He's there. He's already a part of the team, and he is suiting up today, man. So Christian McCaffrey, he is now a member of the San Francisco 49ers in the trade. In this trade, the 49ers, of course, received C-Mac, and the Panthers received the 2023 second, third, and fourth round pick, and also a 2024 fifth round pick, man. So they definitely execute this trade. You know what I'm saying? A good trade, in my opinion, on both sides. Willie Jack, what's your take on this one, man?
Man, I love the trade, man. I love the trade. Man, C-Mac, man, this is I can't say anything negative about it. I'm not even worried about what they gave up. A second, third, or fourth this coming draft, then a fifth next year. So I mean, they save and maintain I guess all the first round picks. And honestly, like second, third, fourth, and then the next year is fifth. But the second, third, fourth, those are quality. Like those are still quality draft picks for sure. Like starters coming out of those picks, and if not starters, like key contributors coming out of those picks. So those are very valuable picks. But I look at a team in San Francisco that doesn't have very many obvious holes, honestly, and they've got a very specific need for a real difference maker, especially at that position for a team that still wants to like have the run game be a very key component in what they do. And the guy, as dynamic as he is, coming out the backfield, catching receiver, bro, it was perfect. It was perfect. I don't have no problems with it all. I can't wait to see my dog get rolling. Yeah, man. C-Mac free, man. Now I'm working on TP. TP, we still coming for you, dog. We ain't forgot about you, homie. Just hold your head, man. We coming for you, big dog. But C-Mac free, man. So
for sure. And I agree with you on that too, Willie Jack. I love this trade too for a few different reasons. One, I just wanted to see him in San Fran anyway. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I don't know if everybody was paying attention to the chat or in the group, man. They say hashtag, usually it's hashtag Willie told you, he started it. Hey, but this time it was hashtag Chop told you, man. He was going to San Fran. So that's one reason I want to see it, is because I'm just excited about Shanahan's new weapon. You know, he has a chance to really use some of that creativity. Now, I don't know if his volume will be the same. You know what I'm saying? At one point, Christian McCaffrey is a 30-touch-a-game guy. You know what I'm saying? He's kept touching the ball 30 times. So I don't know if his volume is going to be 30 touches a game, but I think his touches become more efficient. You know what I'm saying? He's going to do more with each carry with how many weapons this offense now has, and it's not just him anymore. So things are going to open up. And for the Panthers, I'm going to talk about the Panthers side a little bit, man. I think this is a great trade for the Panthers because they get a lot back. One, you're not going anywhere. You know what I'm saying? This is you've tried to bring some people in and try to salvage this team by bringing in a couple different quarterbacks, but it just hasn't quite worked out the way that they wanted it to or what they expected it to. So it's like, all right, let's move on from Christian McCaffrey, give him a chance, somewhere else. And then you get a second, a third, and a fourth, a second, third, or fourth in 1 year, and then a fifth in another year for a running back. I mean, to be honest, who hasn't really been healthy for you the last few years. You know what I'm saying? That you spent, a lot of money on. So they get a lot back for this. And even when they were talking about wanting a first round pick, I felt like it was going to be a little tough for a running back. That it's been hard. It's been hard for him to stay healthy. And then we all know the running back, how people view running backs now as far as contracts and all that stuff too. So I felt like they did a really good job of getting a lot out of this trade. And yeah, man, I like both sides of it for both teams. So that's kind of where I'm at. All right, on to what's next, man. Of course, like I said before, we're gonna get into these this week 7 slate of games, but we already had one, man. We had a Thursday night game where we had New Orleans travel to Arizona, and Arizona comes away with this W, 42-34. Willie Jack, what's your take on this one, man? What happened,
man? Well, first thing I want to say is I'm glad it was a Thursday night game, man, where the combined score was higher than 45.
20. Then 20.
You know what I'm saying? Or even higher than 20. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So we saw some points scored. Lot going on in this game. The biggest thing for me in this game, of course, we said final score was 34-42. Final score was 34-42, 8-point game in which the Saints lose. I had the Saints. I did pick the Saints to win this game. But the easy enough thing for me to point out is the 14-point swing from Andy Dalton's arm. He throws an interception in the end zone that takes points off the board, whether it's going to be a touchdown or a field goal, an ill-advised throw for one, and then the throw that's intercepted in the end zone. Absolutely cannot have that, especially from like a 10, 11-year veteran like Andy Dalton. He's got to know how valuable the points is, and any points are more valuable than any potential turnover in that situation. He should know that. And then, of course, the other interception he had that was returned for a pick six. So right there, we've got that's more than a 14-point swing because you take 7 off the board, you give them another 7, and then you shorted yourself at least 3.
And he do 3 of them because he do 2 pick sixes. He do 2 pick sixes.
Oh no, yeah, okay, yeah, there we go. Yeah, and then the other, I'm tripping. 21-point swing off the arm of Andy Dalton. You know what I'm saying? Now here's the thing about that as well is because of the rapid reputation that famous Jameis has as well. Well, okay, then you see a guy like Andy Dalton who traditionally over his career has been pretty conservative. And normally a guy that you would have said you felt more comfortable, in those situations, not making key turnovers, and 2 pick sixes and an interception in your own end zone. So that's you can't win like that. The fact that this game is an 8-point loss on the road on a short week anyway as well still tells me that I wasn't. I guess I didn't necessarily make a bad pick. Andy Dalton had a terrible game, and so like I said, you can't when you give the other team 14 and you take 7 from yourself. That's a tall order for any team to win, man. And that was the story of that game.
For sure. And you know what? This is what makes picking games so hard, right? You look at games and you can obviously see like who's the better team. You know what I'm saying? This team is the better team. This team should win. And honestly, the Saints look like the better team as far as like how things orchestrated in the game. Like Andy Dalton, for all of that, still threw 4 touchdowns in this game, and they put up 34 points. You know what I'm saying? How many teams do you see have 3 turnovers, you know what I'm saying, and still put up 34 points in a game? You know what I'm saying? That's something you don't see very often. But like I said, this is the reason why picking games is so hard, because Arizona put up 42 points, right? They only scored 3 offensive touchdowns. Where the hell did the rest of those points come from? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a whole 21 points, you know what I'm saying, that's unaccounted for. You only scored 21 on offense, you know, and of course we got the 2 pick sixes and a couple field goals, you know, which gets them to that mark, and they have the two-point conversion as well. But to me, Arizona didn't look very good, man. They didn't look as good as the 42 points that
Exactly.
is what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? But on the other side of that, I looked at New Orleans. Anytime they didn't turn the ball over, they was running up and down the field. You know what I'm saying? They was running up and down the field. And honestly, I would say if he doesn't throw one of those picks, because one of those picks was right off a receiver's hand. Right between the receiver's hand, he dropped the ball and they picked it off because he couldn't catch the ball. You know what I'm saying? So one of those was not Andy Dalton's fault. The other 2, of course, were. But if you take one of those picks away, I have no doubt the Saints run down the field, you know what I'm saying? And that changes the game. Maybe we're talking about the Saints winning this game over Arizona. Now, I did pick Arizona in this game because I did talk to Willie when we were on live, and I said, man, these games be weird, man. And sure enough, we got one of those. It was a high-scoring game. We got a lot of offense. I mean, it was a little bit more exciting than the games we used to see, but it was one of those weird games where the stats ain't add up. You know, things ain't look right, but Arizona came away with the W, man. Oh, and by the way, another quick note, D-Hop back, man, and hey, it looks like he's gonna be the guy they shooting and going to early and often throughout this whole game. 14 targets this game, 10 catches for 103 yards, man. So
hey, came back like he never. Came right back like he left something, man. So didn't miss a beat. So good to see that.
Didn't miss a beat at all, man. So shout out to D-Hop, man. Shout out to D-Hop.
Hold on real quick, man. Let me give a couple shout outs, man. A couple more people that fell in the dough, man. Day one game, Jarrell was here as always, man. You know we appreciate you early and often, big dog. Our dog Tom was in the building, man. Shout out to my dog Tom. And one more time, man. Greg Squires in the building as well, man. Greg said what's going on. Hey, Greg, man, I told you, man, I need to know your team and what y'all gonna do today, man. Holla at me in the chat, man. Come on with it.
For sure.
Hey, y'all too. Hey, Jarrell and Tom, y'all ain't slick too, boy. Eagles in Texas. What them Eagles in Texas is doing this week, man? Somebody let me know something.
Yeah, and you know we're gonna talk about them for sure. You know we're gonna talk about them. But before we jump into these games, man, we got a list of games here for today on Sunday. We got a game on Monday night, man. So we got to get into some of these games and talk about them. We got some interesting storylines for sure this week. But beforehand, man, just like my dog Jarrell said, when you enter that door, man, I need you to like it. I need you to like. I need you to share. I need you to subscribe, and you need to know when we going live. I need y'all to hit that notification bell on that YouTube, man. Hit that notification so when we live, you get it to your phone like, oh, my dog's on. You know what I'm saying? My dog's is on. I need to get in with my boys, and we need to talk some football, man. So go ahead and do that, man. Go ahead and hit that like, share, and subscribe, and send it on out to your partners, man. I know y'all, all of y'all, in some different group chats. Jarrell, for sure, you in the Red Tail group chat. Send it on in there, man. Hit the link, put the link in the Red Tail group chat. Tell them boys to come on and check your boy Chop out, man, as we talk and do our thing, man. But on to these Sunday games, man. Like I said, we got a nice slate today. We do have 4 more teams on bye weeks. Like I said, we started the bye weeks last week, and we have 4 more teams on bye. And it's some of the top teams, man. We got the Eagles, well, not necessarily the Rams, but the Vikings and the Bills, man. We got a lot of top fantasy guys out this game, man. So y'all better get your lineups together, man. Get them together.
I'm glad you said something. I'm definitely gonna check that fantasy lineup.
Get your lineups together, man. Well, y'all gonna be struggling this week, man. But Josh Allen, you got Josh Allen. He ain't playing this week, man. You better change that out there. But what we do have is we got Atlanta going to Cincinnati, man. Atlanta going to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals. 2, 3-3 teams looking to move up and take the next step. You know what I'm saying? Atlanta. You know what they want to do. They want to run that ball, control that clock, and they want to make you work as a team, you know, especially with, Mariota behind center. He runs the ball a lot. They want to hand the ball off a lot and then hit you every once in a while, over the head, with a completion. And then you got Cincinnati, they want to explode, man. They want to explode. They want to put up points and they want to force turnovers. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going with the team that wants to explode. I think they will explode in this particular game. Burrow is playing a lot better. In his last 4 games, man, he's thrown 9 touchdowns and only 1 interception, man. So he's starting to get in his bag a little bit. We're starting to see the Burrow that we were hoping to see, and that looks like a real legit guy in this league over the last few weeks. He got going with Chase last week too. Chase had a pretty big game, man. So I expect them to continue this magic, man. Continue with this rhythm and what they have going ever since that Thursday night game, man. That momentum game against Miami, man. Cincinnati's been doing their thing. So I expect them to come away with the W in this game, man. And even though Atlanta's always close, I'm going Cincinnati 30, Atlanta 16, Willie.
Whoa. That's a pretty wide spread, man. This is a game for me. I really wanted to take Atlanta in this game, man. I really do. I feel like I owe Atlanta a little bread, man. I'm trying to find one that I just feel comfortable biting the trigger. I would love for this game to have been in Atlanta so I could have took Atlanta, but on the road at Cincinnati, and just like you said, man, Burrow and Chase are starting to kind of warm up. They not hot just yet. Like I said, they ain't. I don't want to lie and say they full fledged cooking, but they back in the kitchen, man. Hey, they still mixing. You know what I'm saying? They ain't putting it on the stove yet, but they starting to get it going. Another thing too, man, for this one, AJ Terrell, corner for Atlanta, had a very big year last year. Be a little up and down this year, but now he will be the guy I guess tasked with the majority of catching the majority of the work for Jamar Chase. I said this like 3 years ago now. Or wait, am I tripping? Am I going to misremember? But I want to say it was Jamar Chase to put the bats on AJ Terrell at Clemson and knock that boy out the first round. Am I tripping? Was that LSU or am I tripping somebody else? Anywho, the point of what I'm saying is, though, I do think, just like Chop said, man, we have seen Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow starting to kind of find their groove a little bit more as of this last week. And so I do think at home that is enough for them to come away with the victory. I've got a little tighter than Chop, though. I've got 27-20 Cincinnati at the crib.
Gotcha. Wow, we both rolling with Cincinnati. I don't make up no ground in that game. On to the next game. We got Detroit. They going to Dallas, man. And Dak is back, man. Dak is back. Willie, who you got in this one?
Man, I wanted so bad. I wanted to pick Detroit in this game so bad, man. I wanted to pick Detroit in this game so damn bad. But Detroit's defense, man, is abysmal, honestly. And like I said, Dak being back, he's at home. Dallas is going to be super fired up. Just the whole town. I'm here in Dallas. You know what I'm saying? I stay in the DFW area, so I'm here in Dallas as well, man. I can tell you the city is on fire, man. Boys is ready for Dak to get back, and boys is ready to see where they are positioned coming off Cooper Rush 4-2, still right there in the thick of it. And then you do get a very winnable game against Detroit. And this is one of the ones that I've talked about before on the show where it's a game where you'll have to work for it, but it's a very winnable game. So it's a competent opponent that you should beat. And those are the type of wins that really build momentum. Like, if you just go dog a team that should be playing 8th graders anyway, you feel good about that dub, but you don't carry that until next week. You need a competent opponent that'll make you earn it, but that you can still go out there and beat. And that's exactly what this is, because Detroit's only playing on one side of the ball, man. You know what I'm saying? So even if the offense explodes with 35, the defense has been giving up 38. You know what I mean? So this is a game that I think that Dallas and those Cowboys, with Dak coming back, they could get some things going. I'm going to take Dallas at the crib 27-23. So I do think that it's still, I think it's maybe a competitive game. I think Detroit, kind of how they've been going, I think I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they get down like 10, maybe even 14 points in this game and then turn it up in the second half, back into the third, early in the fourth, and kind of tighten that gap. But I think Dallas holds on and win 27-23.
Okay, gotcha. And I got Dallas in this game too, Willie Jack, man, and Dak is back. Dak is back, man.
Dak is back.
So the team, I think Dallas not only outmatches Detroit, but I think they also gonna get a boost of energy with Dak coming back. You know what I'm saying? So I get those combined. It's going to be a good day for Dallas in a sense. They coming off a tough loss, of course, against the Eagles. But this is the perfect game for Dak to come back to, man. He going against a defense that struggles. A defense they can't stop
nosebleed.
They can't stop nothing. You know what I'm saying? They can't stop a nosebleed. They can't stop a nose run. You know what I'm saying? They can't stop a fire, that little house fire. You know what I'm saying? They can't stop nothing, man. So I think that this is the perfect game. I know you say free TP, but just the way this game gonna work, man, I think this might be the first game. Zeke he going over 100 today, man. Because the way this defense going, Zeke going over 100, man. Zeke might touch the end zone 1 or 2 times. You know what I'm saying? And you know what? Forget it. I'm just gonna go for it. Zeke going for over 100 yards, 2 touchdowns this particular game. Man,
so performer of the week. That sounds like performer of the week number.
That's where we going. We're gonna performer of the week for Zeke. You know what I'm saying? He gonna ground and pound that rock, man, and Detroit ain't gonna be able to do nothing about it. You know, that's just gonna be what it is. Hopefully Cowboys keep that offense as simple as they had it for Cooper Rush, make things real easy. They got enough talent to get the job done. So just keep the offense real simple and everything is gonna work out, man. Everything is gonna be good. And we already know about the defense of Dallas, man. They get after you. They get after you. They cover on the back end. It's going to be tough for Detroit, man. So, Detroit, it was all fine and dandy, you know, when y'all started off. You know what I'm saying? Golf, you was looking real good. Y'all ran into the Patriots, you know what I'm saying? And then you had a bye week. The stretch is about to get a little tough for y'all now, man, against some of these top defenses. So, let me know. Are y'all for real? You know what I'm saying? Do y'all really have a legit offense that can put up a lot of points? Or was y'all just for play? You know what I'm saying? Was y'all just messing around, messing around with your boys? I want to know, y'all for real or not? You know, so let me know what's going on. I got Dallas winning this game 34-20. 34-20.
34-20.
I think they put up a few points, man. And that defense is too good. I don't care what offense it is, man. Ain't no offense gonna put up 30-something points or high 20s against Dallas the way they playing right now. So that's the score of that game for me.
No, I got you. And then good comment from my dog Jarrell Brown. Now caution. Now Jarrell is a Philadelphia Eagles fan, so he wants to see Dallas lose by any time he can. But he said this is the perfect game for the game for the Cowboys to lose. And I'm not gonna lie, man. Dallas is one of those teams where historically the greater the expectation, the bigger the heartbreak. And so, yeah, just like I said, the city's on fire, man. Dak is back. Everybody's ready to see it. It's a very winnable game with Detroit coming in there. They only been playing on one side of the ball. And it wouldn't surprise me at all. I think me and you both expect Dallas to win. I can't say how shocked I'd be to see if Detroit came out there and absolutely smacked these Cowboys. Imagine Detroit winning this game like 38-23 or something nuts. I can't tell you that I would be extremely shooken if that was what would be the case, but I don't think that's what happens today, but it wouldn't surprise me knowing Dallas, man. And then y'all already know what's going on, man. Anytime Dallas is playing and Chop is talking about Zeke, I need free TP. I need free TP hashtags in the chat, man. Free the real, man. Free the real, free TP. Y'all know it's big TP over here, man. But no, I think me and Chop are both on the same page, man. We expect Dallas to win. I'm not going to be surprised at all if they lose, man. That's just Dallas for you.
Okay, I got you, Willie Jack. I got you. On to the next one, man. Oh, yeah, on to the next one. We got Green Bay. They going to Washington to take on the Commanders. Willie Jack, who you got in this one, man?
Oh, Green Bay traveled to see the football team. Man, this is a game, man, and it's sad that it came to this because Ryan is all time, and I hate that I just don't have no confidence in them scoring points. Yeah, and honestly, like I said, it's not really on Ryan, but it's just hard to have any confidence when they go on the field. But I'm not going to take Carson Wentz's backup. That's what I'm not going to do. You know what I mean? I wasn't going to take Carson Wentz, but I'm definitely not going to take his backup. You know what I'm saying? So I'm still going to take Green Bay on the road in a 24-16 Green Bay getting this one done. I just expect this to be an ugly looking game on both sides of the ball, man. I just expect this to just be an ugly game. But I think Green Bay is going to handle their business, man, and get it done 24-16.
Yeah. For sure. And I expect it to be an ugly game too. Now, one thing I will say too, Willie Jack, is it's Carson Wentz's backup, but can you come in and be worse than Carson Wentz at this point? You know what I'm saying? Like we know one thing. How much, but in the sense of you're Taylor Heinicke, okay? Taylor Heinicke, we know what he's bringing to the table. We know what he does. You know what I'm saying? He brings that spark. He plays with toughness. He has a little bit of that Fitzpatrick toughness to him and swag the way he plays the game. He has good legs. He can run, you know what I'm saying, get out of the pocket and do those different things. Now, what he doesn't have is the ability to really push the ball downfield and create explosive plays like Carson Wentz. But we haven't seen a lot of that from Carson Wentz anyway. So, I honestly, this game scares me more because Heinicke is the quarterback versus Wentz. Because if Wentz is the quarterback, we know a few things. Wentz is going to hold on to the ball. He's going to take some sacks. You know what I'm saying? And that's built perfect. That's right into the Green Bay's hands. You know what I'm saying? That's right into their hands. But now you got a quarterback he's not gonna make as many mistakes. You know what I'm saying? And for an offense of Green Bay that's not gonna put up many points, that could mean trouble, especially in Washington. That could mean trouble for Green Bay, man. So that's the one thing that really scares me about this game. Now, the one thing I will say too is Washington is a little banged up. They'll be without their top corner, and I hate saying this too, Willie Jackson. Mm-hmm. I don't even like saying that name.
Come on, man. Come on.
When I say top anything. Come on. Anyway, they'll be without that top corner and Willie Jackson and missing a few different pieces on offense too. Mm-hmm. So, like you said, Willie Jack, I just can't get myself to go with Washington, especially with Green Bay coming off back-to-back losses. I expect them to really get their run game going with those two. A.J. Dillon has been quiet. Hey, man, it's time for y'all to come out. You know what I'm saying? Aaron Jones, you had one solid game, but hey, it's time for y'all to really show y'all worth, man. Really lean on those guys. Yeah, it's going to be tough. Yeah, it's going to be physical. It's going to be a full quarter game for sure. So it's going to be a close one, but I expect them to really pull it out. And those key throws that Aaron Rodgers usually makes every game, 1 or 2 throws where it's like, all right, he put it on the money where only his receiver can get it, which that's what he needs to do because his receivers are struggling to get separation at this point. I think he does that, and they squeak away with a victory, man, and it's not going to be very high score. And I got 20-17, my final score of this game. I got Green Bay over Washington, man. So that's what I'm feeling in this one.
Gotcha. Yeah, we both got Washington right at 16, 17 points. Yeah, we don't expect much at all coming over there.
Yeah. No. And then, and still Green Bay defense is pretty good too. So, yeah, I don't expect them to put up a lot. Nah, That's just what it is. On to the next game, Willie Jack. We got Tampa Bay going to Carolina to take on the Panthers, man. And I'll start this one off, Willie Jack. First and foremost, Carolina is throwing in the towel, man. They throwing in the towel. We've already talked about the trade that they made, you know what I'm saying, as far as, McCaffrey over in San Francisco now. And yeah, they're throwing in the towel, and they preparing for the future, for this team. They're preparing for next year, the year after, to try to build and get better over time, you know what I'm saying, and start to build around the young guys that they have. The what's the corner name, your boy?
JC Horn.
The JC Horns, build around the Brian Burns, the all those guys, man. They're gonna try to build around these young guys. Huh?
It's a Derek Brown on the defensive line. Mm-hmm.
Yep, out of Auburn. Yep. So they're trying to build around those guys, man, and start something new, and start fresh. So and actually, Willie Jack, we ain't even big ourselves up, man. I don't know if you remember. Before McCaffrey left, what did man you say? I think it was on Chop Willie in the morning before the Carolina Panthers played the Rams last week. With me, you both said, "Hey man, I think it's about time for Christian McCaffrey to go on somewhere, man. Give him a chance."
Oh man, yeah. Free CMC, man.
Did we not say that, bro?
We definitely said it's time for free CMC, man. Go ahead, blow that thing on up, man. Free CMC. Let DJ Moore get out of there. He on the way next. Yeah, man.
Hey, we definitely talked about that, man. So if you ain't been listening, that gives you a reason right there to be paying attention to Chop Willie in the morning, because we talked about that. We definitely talked about that. Yeah, but Tampa Bay, on the other hand, man, another potential playoff team, and this has been a theme, man. We got potential playoff teams that's not playing great ball. They're playing ugly ball right now. We just talked about Green Bay. Now we're talking about Tampa Bay. You got Baltimore out there, and it's a few other teams, man. They're not playing to the potential which we thought they were going to be playing. And they're one of these teams. They're coming off an ugly loss against Pittsburgh, in which Pittsburgh took care of business against Tampa Bay. And they need a W, man. They need a W. People are actually questioning Tom Brady's commitment to the team right now. Of course, he got a lot going on in his personal life. If y'all ain't heard, look it up. I ain't going to tell you. It ain't none of my business. I don't get in people's relationships. You know what I'm saying? So he got a lot going on, but I think this is a get-right game for him. I think Tom Brady throws at least 3 touchdowns this particular game. And against a team that's giving it all up, you definitely can't take a loss here. So I got Tampa Bay winning this one 35-10, man. I think they go take care of business.
Ooh. And you know what, man? I also had this one a pretty wide spread, man. I didn't go quite that wide. I took Tom Brady on 28-12. And I ain't gonna lie, I was sitting there thinking, like, I don't know how Carolina scores touchdowns.
Yeah.
You don't have CMC. You've got Baker or Darnold not being able to throw the ball to DJ Moore because now Robbie Anderson's gone and he wasn't getting no targets and no catches when he was there. So I'm like, where do the points come from? So you need a defensive short field, and even if they start on the 40, I'm not convinced they can get into the end zone. So I gave them 4 field goals.
That's facts, though.
I gave them 4 field goals, bro. That's how I got the 12. But bro, I had 28.
And even then, do they get in field goal range 4 times?
You know what? Cause you 28-9. Give me one of them back, man. Give me one of them back. 28-9. Tom Brady running off with this one, and Chop hit it right on the head, man. Touchdown Tommy coming off of 2 ugly losses, man. He's on the sideline, cussing his team out and getting real busy. You know what I'm saying? It's lonely at home, man. So he ain't. Hey, look, touchdown Tommy got a lot of aggression he ready to take out, man. He got the perfect soft target in Carolina to do so. Now, just like Chop said, now Carolina's not just necessarily a rollover. On the defensive side of the ball, man, they do have some pieces. And those guys, I can tell you, as being me and Chop both tell you, when you're a part of a team with a defense that fights hard and not much on the other side, they'll try to rally, man, and they'll try to tell them it's on them, and they'll come out and they'll put up some pretty good efforts, and that'll last for all of about a half until you realize that you'd have played 85% of the snaps in the first half, and then it's gonna get away from you. But I do think touchdown Tommy don't get just like my dog Chop said, man. Tom Brady gets his get back game in order, man. And I do think he lights it up as well. I've got Tom throwing all 4 of these touchdowns, man. 28-9. Tom Brady's my performer of the week. I think 28-9. Okay. I think he has all 4 of the touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? I think he'll spread it out pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Mike Evans is gonna get a couple. I think Fournette gets one, but I think it's gonna be maybe a dump off or a screen, something like that. And then, like I said, the other one's up for grabs. But I got touchdown Tommy throwing 4 touchdowns today and taking out all his frustration on these Carolina Panthers.
Okay, gotcha. All right, Willie Jack. Let's go to the next one, man. And speaking of Jack, we got the New York Giants going to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. Willie Jack, who you got?
Yep, this is where I'm gonna do it, man. So this is I guess this I don't even know if it qualifies as an upset, because who really has real faith in these Giants? Like, who really has faith in these Giants as being a real deal contender? That's why I'm not even sure if I can call it an upset. But I am gonna take Jacksonville at the crib. I do think it's gonna be I think it is a tough game or a close game. Jacksonville's been a little up and down. You know what I mean? Like when Trevor Lawrence is executing the way Doug Peterson needs him to, they're a very competent team. And then when it gets off the rails, when he has 4 fumbles, when he throws 2 interceptions, I mean, obviously they're a very different team there when he's off his game. But I think they're coming in now. They've had, at least for these last 3 weeks, definitely up and down play from Trevor Lawrence, and I'm banking on today's an update. It's been up and down the last 3 weeks. I think now we're due for an up game. They are at home, and then I think this is a game where if you're Doug Peterson, I think you can really rally and motivate this team, let them know, hey, we've got a team who's coming in here who most people are probably going to just expect them to beat us because of their record 5-1 versus 3-3. But Doug Peterson can say, hey, this is a 5-1 team. They're not much better than you. They're 5-1, but they're not much better than Jacksonville. I think these teams are very balanced and very more so an equal head-to-head matchup than the records have us believe. And I'm going to take Jacksonville as the team at home to get it done, 23-20.
Okay, gotcha. And as a Saquon homer, you know what I'm saying? This is a game that actually scares me as well. And I'll talk to you a little bit about the Giants, okay? And the reason why most of us don't view them as one of those top teams is because, one, they're not a dominant team. They're not going to come and roll over you and blow you out. They don't have the talent to do that. But what they do have is great coaching and some good finishers, some guys that can finish games when the game is on the line. That's what they have. They don't have the dominant team like the Eagles where they can just, it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? We coming at you full steam, and if you're in the way, you're getting rolled over. You know what I'm saying? They're not that type of team. They are the team that's going to play a type of game that's going to play you close. You know what I'm saying? So I expect this to be a close game unless Saquon goes off. You know what I'm saying? Because Jacksonville don't have the type of defense that they've been facing the last few weeks that can really put the clamps on them. So if Saquon goes off, then that's when you're looking at, a potential, spread in this score. But they have the type of team, they're going to play you close. That's the type of game Brian Daboll wants to play. And then at the end, it's about making the right plays and getting it to your closers and finishing these games. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they've been able to do. And they've been coming out on the other side of some of these wins. You know what I'm saying? Because easily, I mean, you can count them out, as far as the wins in these close games. It was against Tennessee week 1. going for 2 instead of kicking that field goal. You kick that extra point. We go to overtime. If Tennessee gets the ball, who knows? They may go down the field and score. That's an L. Now we look just sitting there 4-2. You know what I'm saying? Against Green Bay. You know what I'm saying? Or against Baltimore last week. If Lamar Jackson takes care of the ball, doesn't throw the interception, that's 2 games. Now they sitting at 3-3. And instead of talking about the Giants as who they are now, we talking about them like we talking about the Atlanta Falcons. They're going to be tough. They're going to be in all the games, but we don't necessarily think they're going to win them. You get what I'm saying? So they're not that type of team, and that's why most people don't view them as a legit top 5 team in the league right now. But what they are going to do is they're going to play you tough. You got to respect that. They're going to play you tough. The game's going to be close, and you gotta come prepared. You got to prepare for this team, So I said all to say I'm going to Giants in this game because I trust their coaching more in this particular game. The coaching and the players, the right players to actually finish, when the time is right. I don't trust Trevor Lawrence to take me on a 60-yard drive to win this game. You know what I'm saying? Like I trust the.
You trust Daniel Jones to drive the ball 60 yards?
I just seen him do it last week. I'm just saying.
He had a 45-yard run.
They was down 10.
Again.
They was down 10 in the fourth quarter. You know what I'm saying? Daniel Jones was playing some solid ball with no receivers. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying I trust what Brian Daboll is doing to come away with these type of W's versus the Jaguars team that they haven't shown that close game, pull it out type magic. You know what I'm saying? Like certain teams have that in them, certain teams don't. I don't know if they have that.
And that's a fair point, man. The Giants definitely have showed a scrappiness that Jacksonville probably hasn't shown. That's boy, look at you. Look at my dog Chop, man.
Hey man, it's Chopping Willie in the morning. You know what I'm saying? It's Chopping Willie in the morning. We're supposed to break it down. So I got the Giants winning this game. Final score 24-17. Like I said, I just trust this team a little bit more, especially when it comes to them close game situations and making all the right decisions. I got the Giants, man, 24-17 in this game.
No, and I'm not mad at that. And I like Daboll a lot. Of course, I like Daboll when he was coming out of Buffalo. Of course, I was a huge proponent and a fan of what we saw, the progress that Big Josh Allen make. Man, I think a lot of that is squarely at the due to Daboll and his effect. And so I like Daboll as a coach. I like him even when he was going to New York. So I'm thinking, like I said, if anybody can get anything out of Daniel Jones, it'd be this guy. And if not, then man, the league better be ready for who he brings in there, man. If like I said, if we just see what he did with Josh Allen, of course, y'all know I'm a fan of Doug Peterson as well. But I think you do make a good point, man. The Giants have definitely shown a grittiness, and like ugly wins is their ball game. You know what I'm saying? Get in there and make it ugly. Nobody expects us to win. Like, and you're right, man. They've shown that they can make those plays in the difference making moments to scrape an ugly one, and Jacksonville definitely hasn't done it. That was a good point.
As long as it's close at the end, they got a chance. That's all.
Exactly right. That's all they want.
It's working so far.
That's a very good point, dog. Very good point.
Gotcha. Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that, my brother. But now we're about halfway through this, Willie Jack. Man, I think it's about time, man. We need to pay some bills. Let them know what they look for.
Oh man, come on, man.
They need to see. Talk to them, Willie Jack.
Hey, come on, man. And y'all see what just happened, man. We just had to update the ticket, man. Stop what you're doing, man. It's early. It's Sunday. You ain't got nothing to do but guide football, man. So handle your business with both. But while you're here at Chop Willie in the morning, brought to you by the good brothers that Let the Film Speak. Brought to you by the good brothers and friends and family in Atlanta Prospect Precision Painting. Brought to you by the good brothers of Real Deal STL Sports Entertainment. Brought to you by the good brothers of No Vultures Podcast, man. Shout out to all the assorted friends and family, man. And tap in with the three amigos, man. Day one game, Jarrell Lowry, let y'all know when he fell in the door. When you come in the door, you wipe your feet off. You speak to everybody. Don't be rude. Hey, what's going on, Chop? Hey, what's going on, Willie? Hey, three amigos, what's going on with you, man? Let me like, share, subscribe, man. Introduce myself. My name is Greg Spires, man. I'm a Raiders fan. We getting busy today. You know what I mean? And then you like, share, subscribe, big dog. Come on, man. Y'all know what's going on. I'm going to say it again because y'all should be saying it with me, man. It's a 4-part process, though. Tap in with the three amigos. Like, share, subscribe. That's day one. Ain't no real change. That ain't going nowhere, man. Like, share, subscribe. Then you got to tell a friend, man. Then you got to tell a friend, Then you got to tell your friend's friend to tell his friend to bring a partner as well, because everybody is welcome here in the penthouse, dog. It's cold drinks. It's warm meals. It's refreshment. It's good football. It's good entertainment, man. Come in there and holler at your dogs, man. Like, share, subscribe. And now back to the regularly scheduled programming.
All right, Willie Jack. Let's kick the second half of this show off with a divisional matchup, man. We got a divisional matchup, and this in your division, Willie Jack. We got Cleveland. They going to Baltimore to take on the Ravens and give me the Ravens in this game, man. It's another get back game. Like I said before, it's a trend. These teams, that's supposed to be legit playoff contenders, man, are playing some struggling ball, is what I would like to call it, or maybe some ball that leaves a lot to be desired. You know what I'm saying? We expected a lot more from these teams, and Baltimore is one of these teams, man. I expected a lot from them. I expected for them to be at least 4-2 at this moment. You know what I'm saying? They can easily be 5-1 right now. You know what I'm saying? Without a couple meltdowns for sure. And I need MVP Lamar back, because that was regular Lamar. And I wish Black was in here, because he's talking about some little Saquon. You know what I'm saying? I need him to talk to me, man. All these homers, matter of fact, all the homers, talk to me, man. We got some games to get to, and you guys are really, really sold on y'all teams and y'all guys, and y'all ride for them. But y'all ain't being realistic, man. Y'all need to be realistic. And we've been seeing regular Lamar, the same Lamar we've been talking about, who is not a top 5 quarterback in the league for the last 3-4 weeks. We need MVP Lamar back. I want the MVP Lamar that was throwing the first couple games, man, that was hitting guys on the money, deep passes, short passes, medium passes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to see all of that, because this team is fully capable of that. Maybe it's because Bateman is out. Maybe he needs his guy Bateman back. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's an issue. His number one receiver, and Andrews is his only guy. You know what I'm saying? So we need to see that. J.K. Dobbins is back out, but hey, that's okay. You got a plethora of running backs back there, and I think they can fit right in this scheme and still run the ball well. I expect y'all to do that. Cleveland is not a good run defense. They don't tackle well. I expect them to do that. Now, on the other side of that, though, you still got CH. I don't know about the D. I think I might be done with the CH, the D part of that CH, man. The CH and D, it might be just CH. You know what I'm saying? Because that defense ain't been showing up. So you definitely don't get a lot of Chubb and a lot of Hunt, but I don't know if that's going to be enough in this particular game. It's a get-right game. I expect Baltimore to bounce back and at least be able to pull out this W today. So I'm going to go final score. Give me 26. Give me 26-17, Willie Jack. 26-17.
All right, bet. So I'm taking Cleveland in this game, man. I'm taking Cleveland in this game, and for a couple reasons. For one, I think Cleveland always plays Baltimore well. I think they do. I think Cleveland just always tends to just match up and play Baltimore very tough. And this is even before where Cleveland, for a while, they were sniffing the realm of established contender. And then, like I said, we've seen that kind of wane and go a little bit. Now they are still without, I guess, the guy they brought in to be the real difference maker, though. But I still just like how I can't even give you the science to it, man. I don't like what I'm seeing from Lamar Jackson in that offense, and it's not enough about the 80% of the game where he's playing well, he's making the plays that needs to. I can't trust them in the winning moments. I can't trust him or his coach in the winning moments, and so that's what it is to me. Because so in these divisional matchups, man, like we've seen it, throw the records out. You know what I'm saying? So none of that matters. If one of these teams was 1-5, another one was 5-1, it wouldn't change how I feel about the game, because none of that stuff, or it doesn't matter as much in these heated division rivalry games. For me, so I still, going into this game, this is still going to be a close game in my mind. I do think both these teams are definitely more comfortable running the ball. And so I think both those teams will lean on the running games, and then both of them will still need, I guess, they'll still need the quarterback, one being Lamar Jackson, one being Jacoby Brissett, but they'll need both those guys just to answer the bell when they're called upon, but it's not going to be the forefront. Baltimore's not coming out here going 4 wide. Cleveland's not coming out here going 5 wide. You know what I mean? So both sides need their quarterback to hit the deep over on the play action. Both these teams want to hit a deep seam or a deep over on a play action pass. That's exactly what they want. They want both these teams want to run the ball consistently enough to get those linebackers and get those safeties a little antsy about coming down there and answering the bell against Nick Chubb, coming down there and answering the bell against Kenyon Drake, who had a very big week last week and limited to only 10 carries went for 100 yards, or 12 carries went for 100 yards. And so just like Chop said, man, even without J.K. Dobbins, who's still looking to get on track from his injury-plagued career to this point, you've got Kenyon Drake, who's been very competent in the limited time we've seen him. Both these teams want to set that up and get that going so that Lamar can hit Mark Andrews on a 30-yard seam route, and so Jacoby Brissett could catch Amari Cooper on a 30-yard over. You know what I mean? And so, and then on the other side of the ball, man, both these defenses know that this is a 2-10 trap game, man. You know what I'm saying? In some games, man, you see guys with their mouthpiece flapping around on their face, man. You see guys, only the top chin straps are strapped up, everybody's bottom chin straps strapping up is flapping. Not this game. You get your block knocked loose in this game when you do something like that. Everybody's gonna be wearing their mouthpiece. Everybody will be fully secured in their chin straps, man, because everybody knows you're going to go to war in this one. I'm taking Cleveland to win a very close one, and it can't get no closer. 24-23. And this is the thing about this game as well, is that if you're a gambling man or woman, I'm not telling you to bet with my picks. I'm not telling you that at all. But I'm telling you, if I was spending my money, Cleveland, I feel like it's 1.5. It's almost a double. It's almost 2 against 1 because Lamar and Harbaugh are both make decisions in the winning moments that can benefit the other team. So yeah, you've got your team trying to do everything they can to score points, and then you can count on Lamar and Harbaugh to maybe even take points away from themselves as well in the key moments. And I think that's another situation where that could be the difference maker. Imagine this game is 23-20, and Harbaugh's like, nah, we ain't taking no threes, man. We going for the fourth down again, a la Buffalo. We get another goal line interception or a turnover on downs, and now the Browns only need to drive down to get a field goal to win this game. Like I said, if it's 21-23, now they only need a field goal instead of a touchdown. Just whatever. Anything like that can happen and has happened more frequently than not when you're playing Baltimore. So I'm gonna take that, man, and take Cleveland to get this done on the road. Like I said, 24-23. And I'm like I said, between Harbaugh and Lamar, one of them is gonna take points off their own board. And I think that's gonna be whatever they take off the board is gonna be too much, and Cleveland gets it done.
And I agree with you, Willie. It could come down to this, but do you trust Brissett? You know what I'm saying, to drive this field, drive the field?
No, not at all. I don't trust him at all. But there's the thing about it as well. I definitely trust Nick Chubb, and I trust that when Cleveland and Jacoby Brissett by extension, right, when they see that Baltimore is just took points off their, they turned away Justin Tucker. For, you know what I'm saying, it's going to be anything inside of 70. It's going to be good money for him. They're going to not give Justin Tucker the kick to make this an 8-point game or something screwy like that. And I think that's going to give them a little momentum and a little juice to come back and do this and get this thing done, man. Jacoby, I'm not going to say he's going to have an all-time Peyton Manning-esque 15-play, 86-yard drive to win this game, but I definitely feel that Jacoby can, and Jacoby's competent enough to get this thing. To put 40 yards together to get them in field goal range to win this game 24-23. So I definitely think he can get this done against this opponent for sure.
Okay, gotcha. All right, well, we're gonna see how this game play out.
Oh man, there we go, man. This is what Chop forgot. I thought he was teeing me up when he first was introducing the game that he went in. DJ now coming to the Ravens, man. So yeah, DJ coming. Thank you. This is why Jarrell is day one game, man. This is why Jarrell is this is why you day one game, dog. Because you keep us on track. How we forget DJ going to Baltimore, man? Now, Chop, what are your thoughts about that? When you first heard of senior man, what was your immediate thoughts?
The one thing I know is DJ can still run. You know, that's just at the end of the day. I've seen him. You know what I'm saying? Last year, the year before that, the boy can still run. You know what I'm saying? So even if it ain't a 4-2, whatever, it's still a 4-3 something. And somehow, some way, that boy still finds his way behind defenses. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing I do know. He still can run. Now, you're only going to get about 3-4 games out of him. You know what I'm saying? That's what you're going to get. You know what I'm saying? That's it. You know, he's going to get hurt. You know what? I'm sorry. Let me take that back because I don't like to wish that on anybody. He has a tendency to be hurt, you know, and a tendency to not play in a lot of games. You know what I'm saying? When he's playing at this age now. So I will say that. I won't say it's probably going to happen. But, I mean, it can definitely be helpful. You know what I'm saying? He's going to stretch their defense out. And if the defense don't stretch out, you know, we're going to be looking at some touchdowns, bombs over Baghdad. So I do like it, adding a weapon, you know what I'm saying, to that particular offense, especially with, like I said, your number one guy out, you know, but like I said, we'll see how it plays out. He can run. At the end of the day, DJ can run.
No, and that's a good point, man. And when I saw it now, our dog, man, that we was talking about earlier, Ken Gilliard, man, Black Hand in the building, he hated this move. I was on his page talking about it a little bit with him. He hated this move. He feels that this is typical Baltimore, and I hate that I'm putting words in his mouth. He should be here to speak for himself. That's his fault. It's your fault for not being in the building, Black. Come on, man. But essentially what he was saying was that he feels like this is typical Baltimore, that they go out and get older receivers kind of past their peak and bring those guys in and expect them to still be primetime performers. And then he cited going to get Derek Mason at the back end of his career after leaving Tennessee for all those years. Going to get Anquan Bolden toward the back end of his career after being all those years in Arizona. There was one more example he gave me, going against Steve Smith. Now the Steve Smith move was a hit. I don't think.
I think the Anquan Bolden
well,
was.
all those guys performed well, honestly. So all those guys still performed well. But I guess his point was he wants to see them go get he honestly said, why not Robbie Anderson instead of D Jackson? Because if you're going to get a speed guy to run deep, then why not get the young one instead of an older one? Because D Jackson is going to be 35. So I guess that was his point. He wants to see them go get a young playmaker to grow and build with Lamar, as opposed to bringing in these guys kind of on the back halves of where they are in their careers, that type of thing. But I'm happy for D Jackson because he wants to play, and so it gives him a chance to still get them play, man. So I do want to see that. But honestly, I'm not sure how it's going to work because Lamar, we've seen for Lamar. He doesn't really excel at throwing the ball deep outside the numbers. Like that's why Mark Andrews work so well, because he can hit him deep, but those are seams. He's throwing those on the numbers or inside, and that's definitely where he likes to attack the field when he's going upfield. He doesn't really throw well deep and outside the numbers. That was Hollywood Brown's beef. Hollywood Brown felt like he was open on the outsides a lot of times, or he's running deep and he doesn't get a shot, because that's just not where Lamar Jackson has been shown, or he's shown to be comfortable throwing the ball. And so D Jackson's a guy you don't like. D Jackson's for a smaller guy, but he plays outside. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't go in the slot really, and he's not going to be a guy that you're going to use a lot of jerk routes and just like short ends and just whatever. He's a guy that you want to expose his speed. And he's going to run deep nines or deep sevens. You know what I'm saying? He's going deep nines to the pylon, or he's going deep sevens trying to hit his head on the goalpost. And so, it's still yet to be seen how that plays out. But I am happy for D Jackson. I'm happy to see the Baltimore making some style of move. You know what I mean? So I think I can't be too upset there. They are making a move, but I'm not sure at the end of the day, how drastic his effect is going to be on this offense until Lamar shows us that he's willing to take those shots, and DJ shows that he can still get a step on the guy and they can cash in on some of those. We had a good comment, man, I want to highlight. I know we end up getting long on this one. So
you good. Go ahead.
We'll
I saw it too. I wanted to hit it too.
I'm about to say, shout out to Greg Spires, man, in the building, firing today. He said that he made a mention about Njoku and how he's been playing well and how he needs to be used more like Mark Andrews, where Mark Andrews is really kind of the centerpiece of that passing offense. And I told him, I was like, that's a very good point. It took David Njoku, it took him a while to kind of get going, and it was looking like he was going to be out of there. They brought in Hurst from Atlanta to replace him. No, not Hurst. They brought in Austin Hopper from Atlanta to almost supplant him or take over his role in that offense. The Hopper experiment didn't work. And a credit to Cleveland and Njoku for not giving up on each other. They bring him in to replace him. It doesn't work. They leave him there. He stays there. He gets a bag. They came back and they broke bread with him. And we've seen he has looked well to this point in the season, man. He's been dynamic. He has exposed defenses. He's caught some deep passes. He's made some big plays. And I think Squires makes a very good point. They need to feed more into that. You know what I mean? So I think they're still, just like Chop said, they still left some meat on that bone, man. They've left some meat on that Njoku bone. I think there's more there that they can get out of him if they go ahead and make it a point to make him more of a focal point in this offense. So very, very dope comment, man, from Greg Spears. Look at Greg Spears, man. Raiders fan coming here firing today, man. We appreciate you, dog. That was a good comment, man.
Gotcha. Let's move on to the next game, man. We got the New York Jets going to Denver to take on the Broncos. Who you got, dog? I need to know in this one.
Man, this is another one, man. I really wanted to take the young gun, man. I wanted to take the young gun, Zach Wilson. I did. But I didn't. I took Denver. I didn't take Russell Wilson either. I took Denver's defense, though.
Well, Russell Wilson ain't playing.
Oh, you're right. Oh, hell no. Boy, I'm glad you just told me that. Scratch that. Yeah, Jets. I'm going to leave the score the same. I'm glad you just told me that. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Russ is out. Okay. Man, I'm glad, because I didn't feel good about it either way, one way or the other. But now that you've told me that, now on the fly, I'm changing my pick. I'm taking the young gun, Zach Wilson. We'll fix that in post-production. Don't worry about it. I'm taking the young gun, Zach Wilson, man, on the road to get it done in Denver. Well, I'll tell you what I was worried about. The Jets are coming off a very, unexpected. I don't know how emotional it was. There's no, animosity or beef between the Jets and the Green Bay. But just on paper as a team, you're going against Aaron Rodgers and the Packers in Green Bay. it's not a game that anybody outside of the New York Jets locker room expects you to win. And I don't know how many of those guys in that locker room would expect it as well. But you get a very big win on the road. The offense didn't necessarily look great in that performance. That wasn't through like 120 yards, but it's still a very big unexpected win. New York media, you know what I mean? So it's now there's kind of pressure, and I was thinking maybe you go to Denver on the road against a very, very good defense. Now, young Patrick Surtain, that boy's out there strapping folks. Chubb and Gregory are getting after guys. So that defense is still playing very well. And I expected they would make it difficult enough on the Jets that they would scrape by with a win on the strength of that defense. But without Russell Wilson being on the offense, not to say that he's been great, not to say that he's been dynamic, not to say that he's going to, go out there and maybe take it to the Jets as well, whose defense is also playing good on the back of a young Sauce Gardner. Shout out to you, sir. But if you're telling me it's going to be Brett Ripien, that's who it is. You're right. I remember seeing that.
Right. Yeah, somebody did.
Yeah, Brett Ripien. Brett don't matter because until you do something, I ain't got to know your name no way. Hope you do well, though. I don't want to see you do bad. But I'm not going to take that guy over the young gun, man. I'm going to take Zach Wilson on the road. And it was tripping because if Patrick Surtain decides he's going to take away Garrett Wilson, or if Patrick Surtain decides he's going to take away Corey Davis, then guess what? them boys is gone. And so now who do we count on? Like who do we expose in that? Like who else do we have to go to in that offense? Elijah Moore's complaining about not getting targets, and so I don't know how that's playing in the locker room. I don't know if him and Zach Wilson are having some beef, so I don't know if Zach's going to be comfortable feeding him all day long if Surtain decides to take away, let's say, Gary Wilson, the young guy. You know what I mean? Then also on that defense, Breece Hall has been playing well, but I like that front seven in Denver. You know what I'm saying? Chubb and Gregory are playing well. There's just a stingy defense all the way around. You still got Justice Simmons on the back. I mean, so I like the pieces on that Broncos defense to make it tough. But without Russ, if you're telling me Brett Ripien is going to be the guy to lead a struggling Broncos offense already anyway, then yeah, I'll take the young guy on the road, man. 23-20.
Okay. I'm gonna go final score 17-14. I'm going Denver in this game. Okay, I'm going Denver. And this, in my opinion, is a trap game. All right. I watched these two teams, and of course, I've been higher on Denver. And I watch them and what they're good at and what they struggled at. Of course, the offense of Denver has been atrocious, right? Whether you say it's Nathaniel Hackett, whether it's Russell Wilson, regardless, whether it's a combination, you know what I'm saying? The offense has been bad, you know what I'm saying? Then you add on top of that, Javonte Williams has been out. He's out for the rest of the season, the best running back, and Melvin Gordon coughing up the rock. You know what I'm saying? That the offense has been atrocious. But here's why I feel like Denver can come away with this W. First off, I'm going to give you this interesting stat right here, Willie Jack.
Okay.
Interesting stat. You ready for this one? So Brett Ripien is starting. First and foremost, I'm going to say this. I don't think he can – well, you can be worse than Russell Wilson and it starts. You know what I'm saying? But I think Brett Ripien right now, this is what the Denver Broncos need, really. This is what they need. Let Russell sit down. If he's got injuries, let those injuries heal or whatever the case may be. Let him get his mind right. I think it's just really in his head. Let him get his mind right. Bring in your backup quarterback. Of course, you wouldn't do this any other time, but except when he's injured. But let Brett Ripien come on in and get this start. He's only got one career start. Guess who it was against, Willie Jack?
Was it the Jets?
It was the Jets. Guess what happened, Willie Jack?
He got a dub?
37-28. It wasn't just a dub. He put up some points, man. He put up some points in that game.
I didn't see that coming.
I get Brett Ripien getting his second NFL start against the Jets and getting a second W. You know what I'm saying?
I like it.
Now, I don't see him putting up another 37 points. I don't see that happening. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I do see this being a closer scoring game or lower scoring game. Like I said, 17-14. But one thing I really liked about what I seen last week with Denver is that defense, man. They for real. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. When anybody, I said this last time, anytime somebody was catching the ball, it was a Denver defender coming up and they was putting their head right in somebody's chest or their chin. You know what I'm saying? They was chopping you down and you was feeling every time you caught the rock. Zach Wilson hasn't been very impressive. You know what I'm saying? In their wins, their wins have been more so collectively as a team. Punt blocks. Like last game, they had a punt block and a field goal block. You know, the punt block was returned for a touchdown.
Yeah.
And they win over Green Bay. You know what I'm saying? So they're winning games with that, not necessarily with their quarterback really lighting it up and things like that. Brees Hall, you're the real deal. I don't necessarily see you getting off like that against this Denver defense. You know what I'm saying? Like you have been. You know what I'm saying? Things are gonna be a lot tougher on this offense, and they're gonna put a lot of pressure on Zach Wilson to make right decisions, to not go out there and make mistakes. And I think this is the reason why Denver can come away with this W, man. And it sounds weird to say upset, but it is. It is an upset in terms of how his team looked, in my opinion. So I got Denver winning this game, man, 17-14 in a close one, bro.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie, man. This is one where, man, the game is really up for anybody. And so, like I said, one way or the other, I don't feel bad about. I don't feel bad about taking the young gun for going against Brett Ripien, but I didn't know Brett Ripien had that history, boy. So you ain't lying, man. That's an interesting dynamic.
Interesting. All right, Willie Jack. Let's go on to the next one, man. We got Houston going to Las Vegas to take on the Raiders, and I'm gonna keep this one short and sweet for you, Willie Jack. I got the Raiders getting back, getting going. You know what I'm saying? And this is a game that could potentially prepare them to start, putting together some wins in this division. This is a team I felt like was going to improve, and this is the perfect team to go out there and do that against, man. So I got Las Vegas winning this game off a bye week, having an extra time to prepare in this game. Josh McDaniels off a bye. We're gonna see what that looks like, and I got Las Vegas winning. I'll say 35-16. 35-16 in this game, man.
Oh man, boy, okay, you got them lighting up a little bit then. Okay,
they better light up Houston. They better light them up.
Hey, I mean, I hate to do it to you, Tom, man. If you still in the building, man, but hey, y'all looking for CJ Stroud anyway, so you ain't too upset about it, man. I also have the Raiders getting back on track, man, getting a dub. Greg predicting the Jets game, man. Now I'm talking about your Raiders, man. Your Raiders on the clock now, man. Give me your Raiders game. I know you got the win against the Texans, man. I want to hear your score for the game, but I got the Raiders getting back on track as well. This is one, like I said, you're at home. A lot of interesting stuff going around there, Raiders, man. With Devontae, I guess getting officially charged, etc. So we'll see how that plays out. The NFL's already said they're not going to do anything or come down with any style of punishment until the legal procedure plays itself out. So this. We won't feel the effects of, I guess, the incident last week until after the season. But I definitely think, just like Chop was saying, this is the perfect game for them to try to get some momentum and get themselves back on track. You've got a team in Houston that like I said, isn't looking to lose draft position, and they're not putting up outside of Dameon Pierce. I don't know I can't think of any bright spots on this team on this offense specifically. But I've got the Raiders winning this game as well. I don't know why I had it so much closer than you did, but I've got 27-19. So I've got 27-19. The Raiders at home getting back on track and getting a dub, taking it one back in.
Okay, and a little bit more information on the Devontae Adams case. That's what I was kind of doing. So they're looking to make a decision after this court date, or after that happens. And this court date is actually November the 10th. So maybe this person.
I was gonna say, is that date gonna? Well, I guess they don't know it yet. I would imagine that date doesn't hold. I would imagine that they file for some style of continuance because that's mid-season, and so right. I would imagine that gets continued. And normally those things get continued or a continuation is requested, and normally it's granted because they've got his attorney should be able to get that continued because he's got legitimate reason. Because as we know, he's an NFL player. He's on the road 5 days a week every week. So I would expect they probably. Get that push, but the initial date was set for November 10th. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And Greg comes in, man. Greg says, sadly, he says 27-21, closer than he wants it. He got the Raiders, but they don't get many relaxing blowout Sundays. So, hey, man, I'm here to provide some relief to you, Greg, man. I'm feeling it today. I feel you get a blowout today, man, and that's just what's gonna happen, man. I just feel it. I feel it in the wind. Yeah,
you can feel it in there. There you go.
I got you, Greg, man. That's what's going on for y'all today. So y'all gonna get you a nice little relaxing win, man. Get a little spread in that score today, man. So I got you, my brother. I got you.
Hey, the way the season's been going, man, take them where you can get them, man. Hey,
man, you heard me.
Take them where you can get them, man, for sure.
Yeah, it has been one of those seasons, Willie Jack. Yeah. All right, man. Let's go on to Los Angeles, man, where your boy. They wrote him off, but he ain't right.
Hey, but he didn't right back. Come on, Big Gino. Come on,
Seattle, man. Seattle goes to Los Angeles to take over the Chargers, man. To take on the Chargers. What's your thoughts on this one, Willie Jack? Who you got, man?
Big Gino, man. Big Gino, man. Come on, man. Y'all know Big Gino around here, man. He didn't write back, Chop. Somebody
right
hashtag he didn't write back in the chat for me, man. He didn't write back. I'm gonna put it in myself, man, because he didn't write back. But I'll tell you what he is gonna do. He's gonna go to sunny LA and come home with a W, though. I'll tell you that much, man. I've got Big Gino in the Seattle Seahawks. Man, look, I'm gonna say it again. I said it, I think, a week, maybe 2 weeks ago. I'm gonna say it again. If Big Gino ain't looking top 10 or damn near top 8ish, he's getting close. He's creeping. If you can't sit here and tell me there's not 9 better quarterbacks, there's not 10 better quarterbacks in the league right now than Geno Smith. I don't care what nobody says.
Right now, I agree.
There's not exactly, man. So this, and honestly, I don't feel more confident in Justin Herbert than I do in Geno Smith. Not with the way they're playing right now. I really don't. I really don't. You know what I'm saying? So those guys are closer right now than they've ever been, or than we would want to admit. And so if I got to pick one of them, then yeah, I'll take the young talent of Justin Herbert. But for what they're giving me right now on the field, I think I may rather have Geno, man, leading my team, man, because they've got, just like Chop was saying earlier, they've got a certain scrappiness about them, man. They've got a grittiness about them. They know they're not supposed to be here. They know they were supposed to crumble and fall apart when Russ left, and the sky was supposed to be falling in Seattle. And what they do, they came out, hit Russ right in the mouth, got a dub, and then they've been in everybody else's back pocket in every game they've played. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm taking Seattle on the road. Like we said, man, the Chargers are a Ferrari with a flat. You know what I'm saying? Or they're a Ferrari with a donut. You know what I'm saying? They blew a tire. Keenan Allen left. They put a donut on, and they still think they can go 120. You can't go 120 in a donut, Chop. I tell you what happens when you go 120 in a donut. You flip. You do one of these. You tumble. You get yourself on the news for driving off the side of Pacific Coast Highway out there in California. Give me Seattle on the road in a very tough game where they stay just ahead of the curve against these Chargers, 23-21. 23-21, a very hard-fought and respectable win on the road. Big Gino get it done. When you say Big Gino, then you flex and you let him know he ain't right back, though. That's what you do when you talk about Big Gino. Come on, man.
Okay. Hey, man, I got to get some kudos to Seattle, man. Seattle is doing some good things, man, and they playing some good ball, better than I expected, especially with Geno Smith. He's playing some good ball, man, and he's doing this thing. Now, I will say I do have the Chargers in this game. You know, I expect them to come away with this W. You know, I just expect Herbert to get it done. I expect Herbert to get it done. Now, I'm still waiting to see if Keenan Allen is going to play, because he's going to be a big difference maker in this game if he's able to go. It's going to be a game time decision. The decision hasn't been made as of yet, so we're just waiting on that to come in. As soon as it comes in, I got your back. Yeah, I got y'all. You know what I'm saying? We usually run this show right up and to almost the time. We may get out a little bit early today, but if it comes beforehand, I'm going to let y'all know, man, if he's going to end up playing. I'm checking again right now to see what's going on in this particular thing.
I ain't heard who you talking about.
Keenan Allen. So he's still questionable, still a game time decision. So we're waiting to see what's going to happen. One thing I can say is Austin Eckler has been coming along. You know what I'm saying? They've been using him a lot. He's been getting in that end zone, running the ball, and in the passing game, and he's the key for them right now. To help them get over the hump. Now, I do got a couple shout outs on the Seattle side. You know what I'm saying? We talked about Geno Smith, but there's a couple other guys, man, over there. Hey. It's looking real like scary hours over there. You know what I'm saying? Now, first and foremost, Kenneth Walker, we only seen a week of him. But I seen some of the moves he was putting on some of these guys, man.
Like Michigan State, boy. Hey.
And that boy looking real nice over there. Rashad Penny, I'm sorry. I don't know, man. We're going to see how the rest of the season play out. You know what I'm saying? See if Kenneth Walker come take over this spot. But we got to wait to see the season play out first. What you going to say, Willie Jack?
No, I was going to say, you know what, man? I think Rashad Penny going to find himself in sunny South Beach, Miami this time next year.
Oh, yeah? Okay. Well, we're going to see. We're going to see how that play out. Now, I got another shout out. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of y'all ain't been paying attention. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to let it be known right now. First and foremost, Mike Williams, hey, man, you got another tough one on your hands, bro. I don't know if y'all heard of the young boy Tariq Woolen. I don't know if you heard.
But you with a T. Ain't it with a T? Is it Woolen?
No, it's with an L. W-O-O-L-E-N. Tariq Woolen.
Okay.
First and foremost, man, this guy hasn't given up a touchdown yet this year. You know what I'm saying? 6'4". He's a 6'4" corner in Seattle that runs a 4.2. I'm just gonna let that sit.
4 picks. Don't you left out his 4 picks now. You got
I ain't
4
done.
things, man.
I was gonna you gotta let that sit first. You gotta let that some stuff you gotta let marinate. You know what I'm saying?
You right.
You got a lot of seasonings that you put on your chicken, you know what I'm saying? But you only put certain things on there and let it marinate in the refrigerator. Then when you take
all of them got to marinate, huh? Only the certain ones got marinate.
Certain ones marinate. So I'm gonna let this one marinate. 6'4" runs a 4.2. Let that one marinate. Now let's take that out the refrigerator and let you know he has 4 picks on the season.
That's a fact.
And that boy is been locked down. You know what I'm saying? Locked down. Already top 5 corner right now. Top 5 corner right now.
Whoa.
Top 5 corner. I mean, just like you said, Gino, name 10 quarterbacks better. Name 5 cornerbacks better that's been playing better than Tyreek Woolen right now. That's been playing better than him. I'm talking about right now. I ain't talking about overall. We know he's not a top 5 corner right now.
I dig what you're saying. He's got more interceptions, but I don't think he's the best rookie corner in this class. I still think Sauce is the top rookie in this class. So I still will put Sauce ahead of him. I still would take your dog Patrick Surtain ahead of him too, in Denver. I mean,
that's where it gets murky.
No, because there's names that we know. Like when Marshawn Lattimore is on the field, now he's been a little injured, but when Marshawn Lattimore is on the field, Marshawn Lattimore is still doing his thing in New Orleans. But he's just been injured, been a little banged up. I mean, I don't know, man.
This is what I'm saying, Willie Jack. It's a lot of guys that's doing their thing. I'm not taking nothing away from anybody else, but this guy, he ain't gave up a touchdown.
Oh man, come on, man. Hey, how we disrespect Big Play Slate? Thank you, Day One Game, Jarrell. This is why you Day One Game.
There's no disrespect there.
Slate's still in there. Slate for sure.
There's no disrespect there. I'm saying he's a guy. He hasn't given up a touchdown. None. And he's breaking up passes. He's giving up the average when a player catches the ball on him, they catch it for 6 yards, bro.
Yeah.
He's playing. There's no disrespect to anybody else. And I'm saying he's top 5. I didn't say he's better than Slade, better than Surtain. I didn't say he's better than anybody. Yeah. I'm just saying.
No, I get what you're saying. It's one of those things like top 5 just is like it's like a separate badge. You know what I mean? It's like when you give a guy a separate badge, I gotta think about that, man.
But you know what, Willie Jack, you said it's a badge. I'm not even saying it as a badge now because we only 6 weeks in the season. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We've seen seasons where, matter of fact, when Gardner Minshew was with Jacksonville, he went on like a 3-game stretch where he was one of the better quarterbacks in the league. You know what I'm saying? 3 or 4 game stretch. You know what I'm saying? Players go on these stretches. Josh Jacobs is on a 3-game stretch right now, looking like a top 3 back in the league. Am I lying? I'm just saying.
That's too far. That's too far as well. Top 3.
Tell me how. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying.
He still ain't Chubb, Saquon, or hell.
Willie, that's not what I'm saying, Willie. This is what I'm saying.
No, but I'm saying their performances this year. Like I don't think he's performed better than Chubb and Saquon right off rip.
What I'm saying is, if you take the last 3 games, and let's say it was the first 3 games of the season, Josh Jacobs will be hands down the best back in the league right now. The last 3 games, bro, that's it. Chubb or Barkley didn't have crazy games last game. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's true.
And they haven't been crazy the last few games. I'm just saying, throughout the season, you go through these stretches where it just is what it is. Certain guys rise, and it's like this all season long. But at the end, it's like who's been the most consistent and most at the top all year long. You know what I'm saying? And how we look. And it's a lot of different ways we view it and we organize it. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, it's going to be like this all year long. Like Saquon Barkley in a week or 2 was here. Then Chubb was here for a few weeks. You know what I'm saying?
And that's a good point. And that's a good point. And I'm on the spot, so I'm struck. Like if I right now, if we're just grading 6 weeks into the season right now, then I think that means that Big Play Slate probably got to be the top corner lead. And right now, 6 weeks into the season, and I think Patrick Surtain has to be number 2. Dare I say Sauce is 3? Because Sauce been playing some ball, man. Sauce been playing some ball. You know what, bro? Because I would probably go Sauce, Lattimore. Okay, and then if you told me Woolen is going to be right there in the mix at 5, 6, 7, I think you got me. Man. I'm trying to think on the spot, but I think you got me. I would take those 4 guys. I think I would still put those 4 guys ahead of them. But no, you make some very good points, man.
That's all I want people to understand. This thing goes up, but things change every single week, brother. Every single week.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying?
You made a good point, man. I gotta get to you. You made a good point right there. I like what you did right there, man.
Hey, Willie
like
Jack, I ain't gonna say nothing too crazy, man. You know, this ain't bold predictions. This ain't. If this was bold predictions, I might come off the wall. You know what I'm saying?
No, because like when you say somebody's top five, like, cause like top five is like
understood.
Like as soon as you say top five, I'm like, okay, wait, is he elite? That's exactly where I go. Like, hold on, he's elite. Like, wait, let me think now. You know what I mean? But I dig what you're saying though. Like he's playing as good as anybody. He really is. He's playing as good as anybody. He's just got natural gifts that boys ain't got. Boys ain't got 6'3", 200, 427 or 429. Yeah, I want to say it's like 427, 429. Boys ain't got that. Boys ain't too many boys that got that at all.
6'4",
ball production, 4 picks. You know what I mean? So no, that's
I said all to say Mike Williams got a day ahead of him, brother. Mike Williams got
this is a perfect matchup for him as well because Mike Williams can't lose him. You know what I'm saying? He can't lose him short of 15 yards. Mike Williams gets his money, you know what I'm saying, 20 yards plus down the field, 18 yards plus down the field on jump balls. Well, this is a guy, you don't have that advantage. You can't outrun him for one. And Mike Williams isn't outrunning a lot of guys. You're not outrunning this guy. And you can't outsize him. He's just as big as you. He's not as heavy. He's just as big as you. He can jump just as high as you. So yeah, that's a good point. What's your score in this game? I don't think I got your score, bro.
I got the Chargers.
Oh, you took the Chargers though.
I did.
I'm wrong. How you do all of that and then you still take the Chargers?
Because I told you I had some shout outs. I didn't think it was gonna go that long.
What's your Chargers score? Let me write it down.
Hey, I got the Chargers winning this one, man. I'm gonna go. I go 27-23. 27-23 final score of this game, man.
Hey, Chargers. This is gonna be one that I got a feeling gonna bite you in the ass. But you did all that. You got me fired up for the Seahawks, and I already picked them. I'm like, damn, you sure right. It didn't look.
I just ain't see it happening, brother. I ain't see it happening. All right. On to the next one, Willie Jack. And we got a Sunday night game. Woo, we got your boys. Man. Pittsburgh. They going to Miami to take on the Dolphins. So you got, man.
Yeah, now this is the return of Tua. Hold on, man. I gotta get my hashtags together, man. One more time, man, for hashtag Kenny Trill, man. Kenny Trill clear concussion protocol, man. He's unless I'm mistaken, I thought I saw that he had cleared concussion protocol, so he's expected to start. No controversy, nothing like that. Mike T already came out. If the boy's healthy, he's gonna play. And so as far as I know, he's playing. Tua is coming back as well.
Hey man, we gonna we gonna work with my names. We're gonna work with my guy Willie Jack on names. It's just charge it to his head, not to his heart, man. It ain't
to my heart, dog. Come on,
charge it to his head, not to his heart. Because that's my dog. He tries, man. He be trying to get it together, but it's all right. Y'all know who we talking about.
He's coming back. And so I am excited to see how I hopefully he's healthy. He's cleared all the necessary protocols in place. Of course, we already know what's going on. We know the history. So I do want to see him play in this game. I'm not worried about him playing well, but I want to see him play this game. I want to see him finish the game. I want to see him healthy throughout. You know what I mean? I do want to see that because it's still a player podcast, man. It's still a player first platform. So we want all the players to do well. Now that said, I need my young gun to man get a dub, man. He started last week. He didn't finish the game. Mitch, if our dog Miles in here, he'll tell you Mitch the Biscuit came in and actually did exactly what we needed to do, man. Hey, with my dog Day One game, Tua talk about your mama. There you go. Tua talk about your mama in the building. And so now this game scares me as well because we're on the road. It is in a Sunday night primetime game at home for Miami. Tua's coming back. They've been up against it. They've dropped a couple games that they probably feel like they would have won had they had their guy. You know what I mean? So they're itching and anxious to get back on track. This is a team that before Tua got beat up was 3-0 and was looking like a legitimate threat to anybody in that AFC before, like I said, Tua's troubles had started. You know what I'm saying? So they're anxious to get back and prove to the league, prove to themselves and the rest of the league, like, no, we for real. Like, no, don't let these last 3 weeks fool you. Now we're back, and now we're allow us to reintroduce ourselves. So they gotta come out with something on their mind. You know what I'm saying? And that's what makes it so dangerous for my Steelers, because this is also one of those games, like I talked about earlier, when I talk about you build confidence when you beat a team. It's a team that you're supposed to beat. They're supposed to beat Pittsburgh, right? It's a team you're supposed to beat, but it's not a team that rolls over. So they'll make you earn it and make you fight for it, but it is a game that you should win. These are the perfect style of games that get you back on track and get confidence for you if you're a Miami Dolphins player or fan. But I'm a Steelers fan. And in my mind, we're looking to do the same thing. So we're looking to prove to ourselves, like, no, we're not rolling over, man. Yeah, it's stacked against us this year. You know what I'm saying? We know what we're supposed to be today, but that ain't what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? Mike T, man, bring the black forces back out. You know what I'm saying? Get them boys back ready. You know what I'm saying? Black forces and hoodies in South Beach and come out here with something on your mind, man. That's what I hope we get. And that's what I'm hoping we're doing. We get Magic Minka back. When the boy's been on the field this year, he's been the best safety in football. Argue with your mama. I don't care what you're talking about. Ain't nobody made more plays when he's been on the field than Magic Minka Fitzpatrick. Argue with your mama.
You Magic. He said Magic Minka Fitzpatrick.
Magic Minka, because the boy make plays that shouldn't be made. That Bengals game is enough. The pick six wasn't enough. He's like, damn, I got a pick six. I forced another fumble. What else you need? Damn, I got to block a field goal? All right, I'm going to block it then. That's what I'm saying. So he's back, and he's making his first return to Miami. Things fell apart with him and Brian Flores in Miami. He didn't like his role, the way he was being used. We went and got him. Hey, hashtag Magic Minka in the building. You already know what's going on, big dog. So he's returning down to Miami. And as funny as this is, he's going to Miami with Brian Flores. They're both returning to Miami. Both of them had beef with the organization. They actually had some beef between each other. I say all that to say, I'm taking my dogs on the road Sunday night. Black Forces in full effect, 24-23. And we get one done, man. Kenny Trill, the young gun, man. KP the great. KP the GOAT. KP and GP, I'm looking to see them get it going, man. I want to see how Kenny Pickett gets the ball to George Pickens in this one as well, with Xavier Howard, with Byron Jones, with Javon Holland. I really like that Miami Dolphins defense as well over there, but I'm still taking my guys on the road, man. 24-23.
Okay, gotcha.
Nah, man, you got to forgive me. I'm going to turn my camera off so I can blow my nose, man. Y'all know I was getting over illness. I was on injured reserve, man. I just got back. I'm sorry. I'll be right back, but I'm still here.
Gotcha, man. I'm going to go 24-20 in this game, man. I'm going to go 24-20. I got Miami, though. I got Miami over Pittsburgh, and it was for a lot of the reasons that Willie Jack talked about, man. Willie Jack said, hey, Miami got something to prove now. Tua is back, and when Tua's in the game, man, he's getting rid of that ball quick, and he's putting it in the hands of Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill very early, very often. You know what I'm saying? Both of them are probably getting at least 10 targets this particular game, and I expect them to do their thing. I also expect Mostert to continue to run the ball pretty well. He's been running the ball well for this team, throughout the season, so I expect him to continue to do the same. So I got my score 24-20, Miami over Pittsburgh. It's gonna be a tough one. I don't think Pittsburgh is gonna lay down. They're not gonna ever lay down. As long as Mike T is back there, man, they ain't gonna lay down. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what it's gonna be. But I got Miami coming away with the W in this game by feeding their playmakers early and often, and things can get a little dangerous. I expect them to make a lot of plays. So give me Miami in this game at home Sunday night to get back on track, man, to the team that they could potentially beat.
Well, then we had a question from our dog, man, Greg Squires. He has, where's Najee been? Can he break out today? And I was right back in the chat, but since you wrapped up, man, I'll just go ahead and answer him on the live, man. But honestly, Najee hasn't looked great, man. And this is and Chop will tell y'all, I was a huge Javonte Williams guy coming into the league, and Najee was my second guy, but I was worried that Najee didn't have like differentiating athleticism to be as dynamic as he was in college in the NFL, because when you're a bigger guy like that, you can't just be 2 yards in a cloud of dust, which is what he's looked like, especially this season. But in fairness to him, he has been injured. He was banged up all offseason. He was banged up in our preseason, didn't play much there. And then it was reported he actually had a metal foot in his plate. They actually removed a metal plate from his left foot, as he's been dealing with a foot injury. And so I think last week may have been the first week that he played without it. And then now, like I said, so hopefully this week, just like you said, me more than anybody, I want to see him get it back. I would love to see him have a breakout day today. Now, is it coming? Will it happen? I can't make you no promises there. And honestly, I'm not counting on him, man. I think if we're going to win or lose these games, I want to do it squarely on the right arm of the young gun, Kenny Trill, man. Kenny Pickett. Let Kenny Pickett go out there and sling this thing 40 times a week, win, lose, or draw, or otherwise. We need that experience for him. We need that experience. We need that camaraderie. We need that growth in his own evolution of the game. So regardless of what happens this year, I want to win and lose with Kenny Pickett throwing the ball 40 times, because that ain't nothing but just putting gas in the tank for next year. So I want him to have all those reps throwing the ball and putting the decision squarely on him.
For sure. And this is just a little bit of a, not necessarily a rebuttal, but to talk a little bit more about Najee. So in my opinion, man, I view Najee with similar characteristics as like a Derrick Henry. Okay, and hear me out here. The reason I say that is because if you watch Derrick Henry, the way that you stop Derrick Henry is you prevent him from getting downhill. You know what I'm saying? You prevent that offensive line from getting a push. If they offensive line gets a push and he has a 1 or 2 yard head start, Derrick Henry is the most effective. Because if he gets going, he's turning 2 yards to 5 or 6 yards every single rip. You know what I'm saying? Because he's got that momentum going. You know what I'm saying? Najee Harris is similar. You don't want him going side to side at the line of scrimmage or behind the line of scrimmage because he doesn't have the same really quick cuts and to get upfield or make those one cuts that a lot of the other running backs can make. Like you compare him to a Javonte Williams. Javonte Williams can make a quick cut and still get upfield really quick. Najee Harris is a little bit slower. He doesn't have that same explosiveness. So I think once the Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line starts to improve and they can start getting some pushes, that's when we're going to see Najee Harris operating in his best. He's getting that momentum going, moving downfield, you know what I'm saying, and turning those 1, 2 yard runs into 5, 6, 7, 8 yard runs and to really start to wear on those defenses. So I think Najee is the type of running back that's going to go as this offensive line improves, and then that's going to open up more for that offense. So, you know, I'm hoping that you guys can continue to make those moves. I really wish I see we talk about this all the time, Willie Jack. I really wish y'all would have got Landon Dickerson, man. He's over in Philadelphia moving some stuff around.
Boy, hey, moving furniture, boy. Hey, he out there moving furniture, boy.
Boy,
man, I wanted him, bro. You know I wanted him.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, just in case, y'all probably ain't heard about Pack and Stack. Pack and Stack came from back in the day, man. Me and my dog, Dave, he ain't in the building today, man. We came up with Pack and Stack. It was a moving company that we created. You know what I'm saying? Back when we was in college, man. And that's what he looking like. He looking like he worked for Pack and Stack. You know what I'm saying? So that's where we're going with that, man. But yeah, that would be my take as far as Najee Harris and when we actually start seeing him get better and start producing a little bit more. Because I actually don't think he's a bad running back. I still think he's a good running back. No, I just think things just have to fit around him the way that he needs.
No, and you know what, man? And that's even the comparison you made, because I haven't said this like in the group, but I see that same comparison because you've got guys, both these guys. Well, now Derek is taller and a little heavier. Derek is like 6'4", 255. Najee's like 6'2", 240. But both of them they're both, just like you said, they need the first 3 yards. The first 3 yards got to be cleaned out for them. You know what I'm saying? Because they when you're a big guy like that, you got to get a little momentum going and you got to get up to speed. Now the difference is that Derrick Henry, once he does get up to speed, he has a fifth gear that he can get to and he can run off on just about anybody. Now the difference for Najee is he doesn't have that fifth gear, and that again is when we were talking about him coming into the draft. That's what worried me because he does have talent. He's got great hands. He's got great shiftiness and elusiveness for a guy as big as he is, but he doesn't have that gear. He doesn't have that gear that Derrick Henry has, where now when I do get 7 yards of steam going, now I could take it 50. He doesn't have that next gear, but he can be a very competent back. But just like you said, the offensive line, you do have to clean it up for him. Those first 3 yards, he needs them cleared. He needs to be able to get those are runway yards. He needs to be, he's a plane's gonna get up to speed before he can get in the air. He needs 3 yards of runway cleared before he can really get himself and be as dangerous as he can be. And just like Chop said, man, if you can get to him, muddy that line and get to him, he doesn't have those 3 yards to get going. And then now now it is what we've been seeing here now. So very good point for my dog Chop as well.
For sure. On to the Monday night game, Willie Jack, man. We got a Chicago going to New England to take on the Patriots, and I'm gonna keep this one short and sweet, man. I do have New England, and it's because of Bill Belichick, man. Bill Belichick has a thing for neutralizing young players, you know, and with the Bears having limited playmakers on offense, man, I feel like they're gonna be able to neutralize this offense, man. That's been struggling. You know, Justin Fields holds on to the ball a little bit longer than we want, which was a knock which was the reason why he dropped from the number 1 or 2 QB coming out of the draft to 3 and some people 4 or later going into that draft is because of him holding on to the ball too long, taking too many sacks, not having that pocket awareness. You know what I'm saying? So he still has those tendencies. Yes, he does have a playmaking ability, but against a Bill Belichick coach defense, I don't see that happening. So I see New England coming in, winning this game. Now, it's not going to be easy for the New England offense. You know what I'm saying? Because the Bears, actually, their defense it's not been terrible. You know what I'm saying? They haven't been just awful. When they've been playing these games, they've been pretty solid against, run and stuff like that. So it's not going to be easy for the Patriots, but overall, I still like their coaching a lot better and the way that this team is orchestrated. And I got New England winning this game. I say in a low scoring game, I got 17-13, my final score of this game. New England wins. Actually, put 20 on that. 20-13 is my final score.
2013. Now tell me, so Bradley Zappi still playing, right?
Nope, Mac Jones, man, and I'm upset about it. I'm mad about it. I want to see. I need one more week of Zappi, man. We just got to know the kid.
Zappi as well.
We just got to know the kid out of Western Kentucky, man, and the guy was looking solid, man. He was going through his reads, hitting them boys. Now, granted, he did have a lot of time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We didn't see a lot, but I wanted one more week though. I ain't
gonna lie.
If they did give him one more week, they may be talking about a quarterback controversy. So Bill Belichick might be getting himself out of some water.
That's why he ain't getting that week. Bill ain't playing that game no more. He did already went through it with Bledsoe and Brady. Then he went through it with Jimmy G and Brady. He ain't playing that game no more. All right. I'm still taking New England in this game because Chicago, boy, that offense is looking ugly. I mean, it really is. It's looking worse than ugly. It's looking abysmal. If that's worse than worse, if that's worse than bad, it's looking abysmal. And this is the game. New England's a team that we always say it. I feel like Chicago's offense is making this too easy for New England's defense because Bill is already going to find your weak spot. He's already going to find. He's going to know exactly what to exploit on you, your offense, and what you want to do best. And so this one for them, I think for New England's defense, I expect them to be stifling. Like I've got this in a relative blowout. I've got New England. I'm going to lower my score for Chicago, honestly. I'm going to take New England 28, and I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to go 13. I'm going to give them I'm going to go 28-13, 28-13 New England in a game that I don't see this game being close at much of any point. I think it's one of those games where New England I don't think they're necessarily going to go light it up, but I think it's going to be very methodical at just them taking Chicago to task. This game may be like 14-3 at halftime. And so which is not out of reach. You know what I mean? It's not a game that's necessarily out of reach. But then I think, like I said, the second half is just going to be more of the same. More of New England methodically just moving the ball down the field and cashing in touchdowns in place of field goals and coming away with a relatively, I don't want to say easy, but an uneventful Monday night victory on at home in New England. And yeah, give me 20. You know what, man? I'm going to give another one. 31. 31-13 New England at the crib, and I don't see much of anything that's going to give New England trouble here. Now, Chicago's defense, man, they've got a couple pieces there. Y'all know I'm a Roquan Smith fan. Eddie Jackson is a guy that I like out of Alabama as well. But like I said, I just don't see what they do to slow or stop New England, and I don't see on offense how they keep themselves in this game.
Gotcha. And Greg comes in, man. He says he had big hopes for Fields going into this year. He looked great in preseason. And I ain't gonna lie, Greg, I did too, brother. You know what I'm saying? I did too. I actually predicted the boy to go to the Pro Bowl. You know?
Yeah, he did. I told him he was crazy.
I predicted the boy to go to the Pro Bowl, man. We did a bold predictions, segment. And that was my bold prediction, and I rolled with it. And the wheels, all the boats is off the wheels. They just ain't came off yet. You know what I'm saying? You know how you change your tires. You got 5 of them boats, man. Them boats is loose. All of them loose.
All of them loose, boy. Hey, I tell you what.
As soon as they turn the corner the wrong way, bro, them tires coming off, bro. That's all I'm saying, man.
But I'm about to say, they on fumes right now, as I tell you, boy. The gas station a mile away, and they got enough gas to get about half a block. They ain't gonna make it. Like I said, it's about to be ugly.
All right, I got you, bro. Yeah. I got you. Well, let's go ahead, Willie Jack. We got the games of the week, man. We got to talk about them. I'm going to start with mine first, man. We got Indianapolis going to Tennessee to take on the Titans, man. Take on the Titans, a divisional matchup, man. The first time we saw these teams, Tennessee end up pulling out the W in this game. This actually was the first game that Derrick Henry kind of got back going a little bit. He got back going against this team, and I expect a little bit more of this, man. Like I said, battle of the division. This will be a very, very tough game. I expect it to be close and come down to the wire. The Colts are actually starting to string together some wins, but to me, they haven't been that impressive. You know what I'm saying? One of those wins was against a Broncos teams where they didn't even put up a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? They won the game just off 4 field goals. Crazy. We all hated that game. That was Thursday night. And then the other was, Matt Ryan had to throw the ball 58 times to beat an average Jaguars team. Now, don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? That was probably his best performance of the year. But like I said, it was the best performance of the year. I don't know how much more of that we're going to get. And the thing is, Colts have struggled against the run. This game just matches up better for the Tennessee Titans. Colts struggle against the run. And on the other side, you do get Jonathan Taylor back this game, but the Titans have been stout against the run. You know what I'm saying? So I don't expect JT to come light it up. Even when he was playing, he wasn't running the ball terribly good, but expect them to use that and come with a little bit more balance. But I said all today, man, to say I got Tennessee in this game, man. I got Tennessee in this game. I expect them to continue to ride Henry, and Tannehill come off that play action, hit his plays. Couple notes in this particular game. Right now, Derrick Henry is tied for second in Titans history with 73 total touchdowns with Earl Campbell. He can tie that all-time leader in Eddie George with a touchdown today. But I expect him to get two. I expect 2 touchdowns from Derrick Henry, man. Expect him to run that ball pretty well. But I got the Titans win this one, man. 24-20 and a close game.
24-20. And you know what, man? It's funny because my score is almost identical. So I've also got the Titans winning a close one. I've got 23-20. I've got 23-20. Titans winning this one at home. I do think, just like you said, man, I think it's going to be a lot of Derrick Henry early and often. And honestly, man, I think you summed up probably just everything that I was going to say. I think you said. I think they, like I said, they lean on their horse. He was a slow start to this year. He has starting to pick it up and it has starting to get it going. The Colts, man, outside of that exciting win for them last week, Matt Ryan finally wakes up and gets it going, almost 400 yards in the air. He got Michael Pittman Jr. going over 130 yards. I think Matty Ice also threw 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, no turnovers. They had the young guy Deion Jackson, who I shouted out. He had 2 very impressive runs, man, right there in the goal line. Got in Gilly's chest on one, and I think he took somebody else's lunch as well on the play right before that, before scoring the touchdown. He also had 10 catches out the backfield for like 80 yards. You know what I mean? So they had some stuff going in Indy last week, man, exercising the demon, getting a victory over Jacksonville, who's had their number for a number of years now. But going on the road to Tennessee, man, I just don't know. I just don't like the matchup. I just don't like Indianapolis's defense, and especially in being able to stop and contain Derrick Henry and forcing this into. I don't have confidence in that defense better to force this into the hands of Ryan Tannehill. And so for that reason, man, I think Tennessee does hold on and get this done at home, 23-20.
Gotcha. All right, Willie Jack. Now we got the last one, man. Your game of the week. Willie Jack, talk to me, man. What's your game of the week, bro?
Come on, man. Kansas City on the road in San Francisco. A Super Bowl rematch as well, man. So,
Kansas City, I ain't even think about that. That's true.
Super Bowl rematch, man. So Kansas City ended up getting that dub, but it's probably Jimmy G should be a Super Bowl champion right now. Trey Lance wouldn't be in San Francisco, and Jimmy G would be a Super Bowl champion. He'd be a Super Bowl champion much in the way that Joe Flacco was. He was a champion, but it didn't make him elite. But he would still be a champion. And like I said, Trey Lance would be somewhere else. I wonder where Trey Lance would be. That's one of those things that's funny to think about. If Jimmy G hits a wide open, I'm talking about butt-ass naked, wide open Emmanuel Sanders for a 40-yard touchdown on the post, and Jimmy G with the water gun arm that he has anyway, somehow he aired that pass out 60 yards. Boy, I never threw 60 yards all year. He threw a wide open. It should have been a wide open 40-yard pass. He could have punted it, Chop. Boy, was that open. Anywho, the rest is history. But not today, though. San Francisco. Now, this is the thing about when I tell y'all that Willie told y'all. When I told y'all that Trey Lance got injured and Jimmy G came back in, I told y'all right then and there. Nothing else had happened. They hadn't played the game yet. I said Jimmy G back in the starting seat on this team tells me right now they're back at they're a contender for the NFC Championship right there. I said it right then, Chop. Now you done gave him the best back in the business. Now you done freed CMC. Now you done freed. I ain't done yet, Chop. Get your clip ready, because now you done freed the 2022 Offensive Player of the Year. You done put the 2022 Offensive Player of the Year, Christian McCaffrey. The campaign starts right now today. It's 6 games into the season. He's got 11 games, Chop. And in 11 games, Christian McCaffrey is going to put himself in line to be the Offensive Player of the Year. I'm going to tell you right now, the boy in 11 games is going to give me 1,500 yards, Chop. He's going to give me 1,500 yards, Chop.
From scrimmage?
Will be
from scrimmage?
1,500 yards for scrimmage in 11 games, and he's going to be a deciding force that's going to take the Niners to the NFC Championship game against the Eagles, because I had already told y'all before the season started that the Eagles were going to the NFC Championship again. Somebody really told you in the chat for me, if you don't mind. So listen to me when I tell you, now that Kyle Shanahan has his hands on a real running back. Kyle Shanahan has been making chicken salad out of chicken you-know-what for a lot of years. He got it from his daddy. No matter who's in the backfield, we'll find a way to get a guy going. That's why we have guys like Jeff Wilson. We have guys like Elijah Mitchell. We have guys like Raheem Mostert. You know what I'm saying? We have these unheralded guys that are able to get in Shanahan's system and make a name for themselves and have some success. Well, now you got one, though. Now you got a real one, Kyle. Now you got one. Keep my dog healthy. Trent Williams is making his way back to the lineup as well, as far as I know. I believe Trent Williams is playing today. I know Trent Williams came out and said he's playing today. Now, I don't know if the team's going to play on. He came out and said he's playing, unless somebody else tells him otherwise. So now we're going to give you one of the most dynamic backs in football. Like I said, he can run it. He can run for 80. He can catch it for 120. I tell y'all, every time the boy threatens 200 yards every time he touches the field. That guy is now partnered and paired with Kyle Shanahan. Come on, man. And there's another thing I just thought about, too. It's probably inappropriate to say, but I can't help myself. It's all white backfield. Yeah. Kyle Juszczyk, George Kittle, and Christian McCaffrey. All them white boys and all of them getting busy. Shout out to them boys, man. Hey, shout out my dog Day One gang in the building, Jarrell, man. Willie told you, man. You already know what's going on. Give me San Francisco 24-20. And I can't wait to see this game, man. I think San Francisco's defense, Nick Bosa is still, it doesn't matter who's on the left side or left or right side of the offensive line now. I still think that, man, if Patty's smart, boy, Patty still ain't slept sound asleep thinking about Nick Bosa being on his ass from that Super Bowl. Nick Bosa, them boys had about 20 pressures apiece in that game, and I don't see what's going to change now. Now, the offensive line for Kansas City is better. There's different pieces there. I still think Nick Bosa gets busy. And yeah, man, the one thing that Kansas City doesn't have now is they don't have Tyreek. They don't have Tyreek to be the difference maker and really spread and open things up for them, because San Francisco is going to match up well. I'm not worried about Travis Kelce when I got Fred Warner. Fred Warner can stick in Travis Kelce's pocket. You know what I'm saying? Well, I don't want to disrespect Kelce as well, because he's great. But I don't think that's as much of a mismatch this week. If you told me my linebacker had to stick Travis Kelce and I've got Fred Warner, I feel as good about that matchup as I can feel. You know what I'm saying? Considering. So there's not many guys, if anyone, better in coverage at the linebacker position than Fred Warner. And so I think he's going to be competent and be able to make life difficult, or at least be in phase with Kelce for the majority of this game. I still love Nick Bosa going after and abusing whoever is trying to block him on that Kansas City offensive line. San Francisco doesn't have to blitz much because they get so much pressure in that front four. And like I said, I just like the way that team's built and constructed. And now, like I said, you've got a competent guy. I don't know the workload that C-Mac is going to get today. And so I don't know if today's the day that maybe he goes crazy. But going forward, just remember what he told you. The Niners and the Eagles going to the NFC Championship game, bro. And it's Christian McCaffrey going for 1,500 all-purpose the rest of this year, man. He got 11 games of doing it. It's going to get done, man. Come on with it.
I'm going to tell you like this, man.
Hey, Breida on that list too. My fault. Matt Breida is also on that list. He damn sure did look good for a minute. And now we got one-on-ones, though. Yes, sir. Let's go. I'm excited now, man. I got fired up. I can't wait.
All right, man. Well, I can't wait for this game, too, man. I think it's going to be a good game. But this sounds like an early segment of that boy tripping. But don't worry about it. We'll come back to that when that time comes. But I got KC in this game, man. I got KC in this game. Yes, the San Francisco 49ers have added a dynamic weapon in Christian McCaffrey. I love to see him over there. I think he's a tremendous talent. You know what I'm saying? Best in the business. And my guy might be drinking a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It's early. But, hey, he be – and when it's Sundays, he get excited. You know what I'm saying? And I don't blame him. I don't blame him. I'm not blaming my boy. I'm not blaming him. But I'm going to say this, though. I think that, well, one – San Francisco, they're a little bit banged up on that defensive side of the ball. You know what I'm saying? And that's the place you don't want to be banged up in when you're going against a Chiefs team and a Patty Mahomes team. You know what I'm saying? Especially at the corner position, they got questionable there. Eric Armstead, defensive end, he's already ruled out. And then Talanoa Hufanga, my guy, the safety, he's also questionable in this game, but not expecting to play. So they're going to be banged up a little bit in this game. So they should have some holes in this defense that Kansas City can exploit. And if Kansas City, which this is what I expect them to go ahead a little bit in this game and force Jimmy G to have to throw that ball. I said it last week. San Francisco had to do it last week. If Jimmy G has to throw the ball as many times he threw it last week, San Francisco is in trouble. And I see him having to throw the ball a little bit more in this particular game. Now, I do expect Christian McCaffrey to be a part of this game plan, but I don't know how much. I don't think he gets a lot of carries in this game. He may be in a lot of – I'm hearing things about him being involved in some of the goal line situations and getting the ball there. And I'm pretty sure they have some things schemed up for him, but I expect Jeff Wilson to still get a lot of run in this particular game too. And with all that being said, I mean, San Francisco is, as much as we said they're a contender, they're still in that they're that dangerous, that really dangerous physical wild card team. That's what I view them as. And today they going against a team that's legit a contender. And I think it shows, man. The Chiefs come in, take care of business. Andy Reid shows Shanahan, hey, man, I'm still a top dog when it comes to this offensive stuff. You know what I'm saying? I still do this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got the cookbook. You got the recipes. You know what I'm saying? You cook the recipes but I created the cookbook that you're reading off of. You know what I'm saying? I do this for real. You know what I'm saying? Andy Reid comes in and shows the world that in this game today, in this late afternoon game. So I got KC winning this game. I'm going to go final score 27-17. 27-17, 10-point game. KC wins this one, man.
Okay. We shall see.
We shall see.
Real quick, man, and I didn't want to go back too far, but Day One Game Jarrell, man, asked if Jonathan Taylor was playing today for the Colts, and we didn't even talk about that, but our dog, man, shout out to Greg Squires from the Bay's very young Greg Squires in the building, man. He said, yeah, JT is playing, man, so appreciate the love, appreciate the information, big dog.
Yeah, JT is back and ready to go, man. So
he said full practices Thursday and Friday. There we go. Appreciate the love.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Willie Jack, that's pretty much all the games today, man. Recap your performer of the week this week, man.
Man. I'm taking Touchdown Tommy, man. Touchdown Tommy getting back to it. You know what I'm saying? He ain't getting that at home, man. He's pent up. He's angry. Somebody got to get it. Somebody got to pay, man. Somebody got to pay, and today is going to be the Carolina Panthers. Give me Touchdown Tommy with 4 of them things today, man. 4 of them things on the road. I don't care who gets them, but he's passing them out. 4 touchdowns for Tommy today. Expect, I don't even know the yards, man. 350 somewhere in there. I don't necessarily think it's going crazy like that, but I definitely do think he's going to air it out. If they're going to exercise the demons on the a soft target in the Carolina Panthers, and it is a divisional game, divisional rivalry. So these wins do count. They need these ones to stack up for sure as they try to get back firmly in the mix for that NFC South title. But yeah, give me Touchdown Tommy with 4 of them things today.
For sure. And I got my performer of the week is coming from Dallas, man. I told you I got Zeke, man. I'm going Zeke. He's going for his first game of the year, over 100 yards, 2 touchdowns from Zeke, man. We're going to get a good performance from him going against that Detroit defense that lets everybody get in. You know what I'm saying? You can get in. Hey, that's what's going to happen.
You get a touchdown. You get 100 yards.
That's right. You know what I'm saying? That's right. So it might be a little bit of that, a little bit of TP in there too. You know what I'm saying? But I think I'm going with Zeke over 100 yards, 2 touchdowns in this particular game. Hey, they come, they show up, they show out, and that's just what it is, man. And that right there, pretty much wraps up your show, man. Chop and Willie in the morning. We may have some comments coming in here and there, but I'm going to tell you like this, man. Y'all been in here. Y'all know what it is. Y'all like, share, and subscribe this, man. We appreciate y'all coming in. When y'all come in, y'all say what's up. Holla at your boys. You know what I'm saying? You don't walk in your mama's house and don't speak, do you?
Hey, you better speak, boy. You better speak to everybody in the house and come in. Y'all know what's going on. Ain't nothing changed.
Y'all know exactly what's going on, man. You don't walk in your mama's house and do that. You know why? Because she's going to pop you. She might pop you right in them lips, boy. So you better get it together. When you come in here, man, like, share, and subscribe. Talk to your partners about us. Hit that notification bell. That way you're getting everything. Again, everybody, get your picks in. It's weekly pick 'em. I need them picks. I need to see who y'all got, man. You know what I'm saying? I need to go ahead and catch up a little bit and catch up on some of these games. So I need y'all to do that. And, yeah, man, come on with it, man. Come on with it.
There y'all go, man. Week 7, man. Week 7, Chop Willie is in the books, man. So, hey, y'all got about 12 minutes to get yourself situated, man. Get you something cold to drink. Get you something warm to eat. Get your picks in the chop, man. Get your picks in the chop for the pick 'em. Y'all got what? 11 minutes and 37 seconds or something like that, man. So make sure y'all do that. Chop does a great job, as we all know, man. Keep a tally of all my victories when I'll be putting it on y'all, boys. So don't be late, man. And so, yeah, other than that, man, everybody stay safe, man. Enjoy yourself. Appreciate everybody that came through and hollered at your dogs today, man. Real quick for the membership, man. Let me see. Day One Gang Jarrell was in this thing early and often, man. We appreciate the love, my dog. Our dog, Tom Walker Teasy, was in the building, man. Appreciate you, big dog. Appreciate the love. The home team was in the building. My mama was in this thing. Mama, appreciate you as always. who was in this thing. Hey, man, shout out, we don't give another game ball, man. We've been slacking on it, man. I ain't gave one out every week, but one is in order today, man. Shout out to Greg Squires, man, the Bay's very own Raiders fan. Greg Squires was in the building today, man. Definitely was active in the chat, man. He was dropping news and nuggets on us, man. He said he got Shefty on speed dial, man, and I believe him, boy, because he had a lot of good stuff to say today, man. So we appreciate the love and support. And then, hey, y'all know what's going on, man. If I fell, wait a second,
Willie Jack. 1 second. I see the question in here, man. Jarrell, he coming here, he asking any update from the Chargers yet. You probably won't get that one until closer to the game time. That's a 3:25 start game, Central Time. So you probably won't get news on Keenan Allen until you get closer to that game time. So I just want to answer that question real quick, man. My bad, Willie Jack. You got it, bro.
It's all good. Hey, just like our dog Greg just shared, man. Hey, we will see y'all next Sunday. Now, Greg, you tripping, bro? Because you're gonna see us Wednesday, dog. Come on, man. Don't forget the Wednesday show. We done told you what's gonna happen Sunday. Now you got to come back Wednesday and see where we was right, where we was wrong, man. Wednesdays at 7:00, man. Chop Willie. No, excuse me, not Chop Willie. Let the film speak, man. The home show, man. The base show. We will be back Wednesday, man. We'll run back through all of these games, man, and talk about the interesting and good stories from those as well. So, Greg, man, tap in with your dogs, man. Wednesdays at 7:00.
Hey, Greg, you play hide and go seek, man. You know how to play hide and go seek. You go hide, but when you got to get back to, you know where you come back to? The home base.
You come back to home base.
You got to come back to the home base. Everybody know how to play hide and go seek, man.
Hey, that's a fact.
When you go hide, you get back to the base. You good. You safe. You straight.
Exactly.
Come on back to the home base Wednesday.
Wednesday is the home base show, man. And just like that, we out this thing, man. Sundays at 10:00, be here, be in here, be square, man. Wednesdays at 7:00, come back and chop with your dogs, man. Let's go over the games. Other than that, everybody have fun, be safe, enjoy yourself. Have a cold one on me, man.
Yeah.
Don't matter if it's cold ginger ale or something else a little spicy, man. Y'all be out there, y'all be safe, enjoy yourselves. Peace.
Peace.